What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. Beautiful Saturday night. Not really, but anyway, I'm chilling right now. We're gonna have some fun. So what I want to talk about right now is an open panel, and we'll talk about some other stuff too. But to start off, I want to have some people come on, and we're gonna have a conversation about Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic. He did a video, and I should have linked it, but he did a video talking about, difference between being off code and knocking the hustle. And it was a really good video, good conversation. I mean, also shout out to him. He also did a thing talk about big scary black man with the Garrett situation, which I think they brought a lot of nuance to it. And that is what that is. And shout out to Ramil. He's doing more videos out there too. So make sure you check him out. Ramil keeps it real as always. So, and I'll eventually put the Classic Mag YouTube channel up there. I got one video up there so far. I'm gonna put more content up there, I promise. But anyway, what I want to do is have a conversation about Tariq Nasheed. Now, what's interesting about this is usually a lot of people that I deal with, they usually come down generally on the same side. If I look at a ratio, it's usually 70-30 or 80-20 type thing. But right now it's really, really kind of 50-50. On the one hand, you've got people like Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, and Tariq Nasheed. They were also on Tariq Nasheed's program a while ago, earlier, either mid in the year. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Talk about politics and stuff like that. Talk about strategy and stuff like that. They've always operated on their own thing. And they definitely support Tariq. And they're one of the first people that's going to call bullshit on people if they're full of shit. And then, but I got a lot of people I respect that I've seen videos that they've made, going against Tariq Nasheed. And, that's their opinion. And what I really want to do, I'm gonna keep it all real with you. I have my opinions on the thing, but quite frankly, I'm focused on amplifying myself, because the more I amplify myself, it's gonna be a greater extent that I can have an impact on helping other people. That's what I care about. A lot of this shit is really, in my opinion, celebrity gossip, terraformed into politics. And a lot of motherfuckers, now, I'm not talking about any of the people that I'm talking about, because they know what they're talking about. But I think a lot of it comes down to, do you like Tariq? Do you not like Tariq? And we're actually looking at the facts. Because what everybody wants to say is Tariq Nasheed used to be a pimp. He's pimping people. He's a hustler. It's always this bullshit. And what I find is, if somebody has these same traits, that they're cool with that person, but they have these same traits, none of this shit comes up. None of this shit comes up. So these are things that you can kind of tag people with. And this is one of the things about Tariq Nasheed that really interests me. It's always the same shit that people say about him. It's never concrete. It's never even there's a thing on Facebook where Yvette Carnell, Tariq was in a music video with Faith Evans and Diddy, and he's in the video. He's in kind of the storyline of the video. And this is a long time ago, in the 90s, right? Tariq's old. He's 50. And she put that up like that's some kind of smoking gun. And I'm like, this is shit Tariq has put out there already. And it's that from the Boyce Watkins school of being petty type shit. But it's always, and it always comes back to the same shit. And what I find is people have a problem with the money he's capable of generating. And it's interesting that people want to say Tariq is a hater, because that seems like that's hating to me. Here's the thing. People know why they give Tariq money, whether they donate it, whether they pay for some of this shit, which quite frankly, I do think a lot of his shit is overpriced. I'm not knocking the dude's hustle, but I do think it's overpriced. But at the same time, I've paid $40 for Jason Black stuff. But at the same time, they have stuff to where now you can download. You can actually get it. You can rent it, which is fine. But a lot of his other stuff, like the Mac and stuff, I thought it's overpriced. I've always had criticism. Although I do, when it comes to his dating books, His dating books speak to a certain type of gang with certain type of black people, but it's not universal. But it can be effective if you want to operate that way. Um, you know, when it comes to Tariq just a lot of street shit. I could go a list of things that annoy me about Tariq, but Tariq has actually come around on some of these things. To be honest, my point is, I want people to come up here and really start to make the case. I'm gonna be kind of like the jury, and I want people to make the case and not come with the same basic nigga shit. Because at this point, what it sounds like what people are doing is they're saying, well, Tariq is off code, and we make it sound like Yvette and Tone ain't done no off code shit. Like Yvette and Tone are the righteous ones, and Tariq is in the wrong. And maybe I don't have all the information. That I'm gonna be honest about that. But it sounds like to me that everybody's upset because Tariq is creating his own shit. Tariq was never partnered with and I've seen this shit happen in the manosphere a couple of times too. Tariq was never partnered with Yvette and Tone. He was his own thing before you knew who the fuck Yvette and Tone were. In fact, a lot of people found Yvette and Tone through Jason Black and Professor Black Truth. I knew who Tone was before that because I used to listen to Zoe Williams' show. And I knew Tone because I know he helped or a part of making Freeway Crack in the System. So I knew who Tone was. I knew who Yvette was. And Yvette was somebody, quite frankly, Boyce Watkins should have never been fucking pushing. But I see now she was like a workhorse. But they never ideologically were on the same page. And Yvette was never on really the same page with the mission of economic prosperity. She's always been about the political side and the government saving black people side. That this has always been the fundamental disagreement I've had with Yvette and Tone. And quite frankly, in Yvette, whatever. My point is, I'm curious to see if somebody can really come at Tariq without talking about the same shit that is always said. He used to be a pimp. He used to be this. Most of the motherfuckers, a lot of the motherfuckers y'all here talk about in the manosphere, they really talk about trying to do some shit, used to do some shit. So it's like, so if anything you tag him with, you're gonna have to tag everybody with. You can't just say, well, he does this, so that's why I like. Because there's people in the manosphere that generate a lot of money out of the manosphere too. And y'all cool with that. So I don't understand, where is this stuff going? Well, he's pimping the struggle. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's basically saying it's no different. That you might as well say that paying tithes is pimping Christianity. You know what you give it for, you know where it's going. Nobody's making these people or selling these people dreams. And I'll give you a perfect example. I didn't look at his Indiegogo page until recently because he did a new one. And I got a call from like two people. And they were really going in on Tariq. And I was like, damn. And I was cool because Tariq ain't the type of person I'm like going outwardly like, oh my God, defend. I said, I understand why you should have that opinion. And I actually said, Tariq people should have their feet held to the fire. And the points that they were making were good enough points. I say these are points that should be out there because he should have to respond to them. Because we need to do a better job holding people's feet to the fire. So I said these were good points. And I pushed back, but I still said these are good points out there. But I said, do you really want to do a video? Because you know how people that follow Tariq can be. They can be like a fucking beehive. And they were like, they knew. They know that. And exactly. Tariq has his fans. And I'm not a fan of Tariq. I respect his business savvy. I do. And one of my favorite videos from him actually is a video he actually did, interview he did with Boyce Watkins. And I'm gonna put it in the community page. And it's a really good video where he breaks a lot of the stuff that y'all are hating on him down. A lot of the mythologies of how he does it and how he did it going all the way back to his original books. When it comes to owning stuff, it's kind of ironic because the very thing that people praise Nipsey Hussle for is the very thing people hate on Tariq about. That's one thing I've kind of noticed. And that's why I kind of, I look at stuff as patterns over a long period of time. What I find is there's certain shit that people the same shit that people will praise certain people for, the same traits that people hate on other people for. And I peeped that shit. But anyway, the point is the point is that, again, I don't really care who people like or don't like. I said, there's people, I usually do more promoting people than telling people who not to listen to. But yeah, like I said, I'm always hearing the same bullshit about motherfuckers talk about being off code and all this bullshit. And I'm like, okay, I want an explanation of what exactly is he doing this fucking off code. Because me understanding politics, there are a lot of groups. When you look at the Tea Party, there are many groups. When you look at the family conservative movement, there are a lot of groups. When you look at abortion or anti-abortion, there are a lot of groups. Even when you look at quote unquote black civil rights, you have the Urban League and the National Action Network. You have NAACP. You have a lot of groups, because really the only thing that separates groups is the what organizes the group, the money that powers the group, and whatever network that's behind the group. That's it. No matter what situation you have groups that basically are able to aggregate human capital for whatever race, religion, or what have you. There is no one fucking group. Even with the black church, there is no one group. Like, I don't fucking understand that. And so it's like, okay, so he decides to do his own thing. He basically declared why he did his own thing. It's actually starting to come out that what he said was correct. Because at first, motherfuckers like Yvette and Tone, they were saying, "Oh, it's not a political group. It's not this." Now they're making political statements, and now they're coming out and saying it's a political group, which we all kind of knew there was a political element to it. And I've always said that my issue with Yvette and Tone is their politics first, not economics first. And economics first is what we fucking control. And by the way, them being politics first, I said that's cool if you're going to be that, because we need people to focus more on economics, but we also still need people to deal with the political side. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to drop the link. My thing is, if you're going to be political, the policy should not be to tell people who to vote for. And it shouldn't be to tell people against, because that defeats the purpose of saying that our vote is going to go to who supports our agenda. So you say that, but at the same time, you're saying don't vote for Republicans and don't vote for Trump. Vote for Democrats. Now, I am a Democrat, but you're sitting there trying to shame black people. That makes you no different than anybody else. That the only difference is you're trying to bluff. And the Democrats, they can lose elections. You got a lot more to lose than what they got. You're bluffing, and they can tell you're bluffing. At the end of the day, when it comes to the general, you'll tell them to vote who you'll tell them to vote for. And by voting for them, you're voting for all the groups that come behind that. You're voting for the gentrification. You're voting for the alphabet community. You're voting for the gynocracy. Why? To keep Trump from getting there? The damage Trump has already done the damage. He's got 2 Supreme Court picks. It's over. Like, the only thing he can get is get one more and really cement it, but that's over. So at this point, and then you're sending another message that, quite frankly, the Republicans might as well not do anything for you, because there's no any benefit to that. And this is not just about the national. So my point is, what are we really talking about? Well, and this is, and by the way, this is because I've done very pro ADOS videos, so this isn't me like flipping all of a sudden to say, oh, I'm foundational Black Americans. Look, I'm for what I've always been. I've always told you I'm economically pro Black, and the things that feed into it is what I'm talking about. So when people talk about, so this is the ADOS thing being held to a standard. So for everybody to want to act like I'm pro this and anti this, and there's no nuance to it, or I don't never call no shit out, well, this is what this video is going to be about. This is what this conversation is going to be about. This is going to be people doing house cleaning and basically showing that the criticism goes both ways. There is no, oh, well, you hate immigrants, or y'all don't like immigrants, so y'all going to immigrants. But if there's some motherfuckers that do the same shit that live here, y'all gotta pass. That's already proven that's not true. We've already proven that's not true just by definition of this conversation, and the conversation has been going on. That bullshit that motherfuckers not have. Whether you say fuck Tariq, I don't like Tariq, you've already proven that anybody that tells you you don't hold people that are descendants of a slave accountable is bullshit. Even if you're on the side of fuck Tariq, ain't nothing you could say, and it doesn't matter. I don't like Tariq, fuck Tariq. He's off code. You've already proven that. So any black immigrant wants to play that game, you've proven it. And by me sitting there saying what I'm saying with Tone, I've already proven it. We've already proven that that's bullshit. So congratulations. No matter where you fall in this conversation, that has already been proven. So within that, what we're going to do is have really a conversation, breaking some stuff down. I'm interested to hear you all's opinions. This is not about me trying to tell y'all what is right and what is wrong. But I will say, you know, when it comes down, I'm seeing people in the comments, and look, I'm gonna let y'all rock. I'm not gonna hit you, but I'm seeing, you know, Tariq is a joke. Tariq is this. Tariq is that. Tariq, oh my God, fuck Tariq. Da 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 da. I mean, why do y'all got that much emotional fucking real estate to somebody? Like, y'all really got to ask yourselves that. What is it about Tariq that's got y'all so fucking triggered? Because I don't like Tommy Sotomayor, but Tommy Sotomayor does not get me fucking triggered. I will see the same, and I'm going to tell you something. And here's the truth. The truth is, a lot of you, this ain't everybody, and this ain't the people I'm talking about that I had a conversation with. I know this ain't y'all, but whatever. I'm talking about as far as the general audience, a lot of you motherfuckers don't like Tariq because y'all team Tommy. Y'all need to start telling the truth about that shit. This is one thing I don't like about black people. Black people will not tell the well, all people, let's be clear, all people do it. I fuck with black people. That's why I'm saying black people. We got a habit of having axes to grind and fucking lying about the origin of the fucking where the axes come from. A lot of you must see, this is what a lot of people don't know. A lot of you motherfuckers, I go all the way back to where Jason Black and Tommy used to be on the same platform. I go all the way back to that. So I know with a lot of motherfuckers, a lot of this shit comes back to that beef. And by the way, that beef has since been squashed, by the way. I'll give a lot of credit to Tommy. Tommy has been able to weather it out and basically get that beef squashed with Corey Holcomb. Because Tommy had everybody at his ass at one point. And it wasn't about he was the greatest and he was the GOAT. It wasn't about that. It wasn't nothing about that. So shut up. That's not what it was about. Tommy had did a bunch of bad deals. He had pissed people off and rubbed a lot of niggas the wrong way. And when you get like 3 or 4 dudes, thoroughbred dudes saying the same shit about you, and these dudes kind of in the same circle, but not really, it says a lot. My point is, a lot of you niggas don't like Tariq because y'all team Tommy. And y'all need to stop acting like y'all could just weasel into this shit. We're talking this political conversation and y'all want to act. Now, to be fair, that's none of the content creators I'm talking about. Because the people that I got in my head, that's not who I'm talking about. It's like that. But as far as the audience, when I hear this, fuck Tariq. Tariq is this. Tariq is a pimp, a hustler. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, how you got that much emotional energy at another dude? He's a joke. He's this. Tariq is a millionaire. Tariq is a dude that basically the fucking FBI put a gun in his fucking face because of bitch ass Cynthia G told somebody to do a racist, basically called a fake raid on him, and basically his kids could have got killed. So y'all better remember that y'all want to say he a joke. These white folks take him very seriously. Ain't none of y'all can honestly say the FBI, but shout out to BGS because he can say that. So let's be real about what the fuck we talking about. And one of the things that I will say, well, I'll leave that for when we get on there. But let's be real about what the fuck we talking about. And by the way, people can say what the fuck they want to say about Boyce, but when that Dallas, and I get it, Boyce has really disappointed me. He really has. But when that Dallas dude, it was 2 people that was in Boyce's class. One of them shot at police that they did the bomb with, and it was another dude, and he had to get interviewed by the FBI. So these are motherfuckers that really got real shit at risk. And a lot of y'all in the audience, and that includes myself, We ain't been brushed up with shit like that. That's some shit we don't know. So y'all might want to do a better do like we can disagree. We can say what we want to say. I'm telling the moderators, don't be blocking people and knocking people out unless they say some racist shit or some really crazy off the wall shit. They say Tariq is a joke. Tariq ain't this, Tariq ain't that. Let them say it, because this is not about controlling conversation. This ain't about none of that. But what I'm saying is y'all be letting words come out of y'all mouth. I talk a lot, but understand everything that comes out of my mouth, I mean what I say. I don't believe in putting shit out there and then taking the shit back. And a lot of y'all are real quick to say some stupid shit, where in the actuality, Tariq is a self-made millionaire. Tariq has put out videos for free that actually maps out a lot of stuff. I can tell you from somebody that's an internet marketer, somebody that deals with marketing, there's a lot that you can learn from looking at how Tariq does what he does. Just how he goes. And he's done it in two different groups. He's done it in politics, which is notoriously hard to get black people cough up money for. And he's done it in dating. So when people always use the dating shit to try to because he was a dating coach, which, by the way, he's wrote books for women and men, that shit don't matter. What he's talking about in politics, what the shit is the information right or not right? By the way, take Tariq off the table. A lot of people will say, well, BGS ain't no master teacher. He ain't this. Fuck him. And he don't do nothing but bring facts and receipts. So, and he don't generate money like that. People donate because they want to donate. So again, I'm just talking about this fucking hating ass shit. So we're going to see if people, we're going to have a conversation. I'm interested to see where it goes. Shout out to 60 people that's on here. Because a lot of people have tried to call me out and say, oh, man, you're too smart to be getting hustled and all of that. I'm not out here promoting. You don't see me promoting Tariq shit. Y'all don't even hear me really bring up Tariq like that. But anyway, I will say this. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So I didn't look at his Indiegogo because it was another one's GoFundMe. And I've donated before, but I haven't donated in a while. I mainly donate to Dr. Claude Anderson. And people were saying, oh, he's basically donating for the conference and then he's selling the tickets. Now, that didn't sound right, but the people that were saying it, I was like, hey, I trust what they say. So I ain't even really question it. I argued it based on what they said. But I just decided, because he had a video up, and shout out to D Tubman, because she's always recording his live and stuff. I clicked on the Indiegogo list. I said, let's see what this fucking bullshit about. Because be honest with you, Tariq isn't generating as much money as he used to out of donations. Tariq I think it's dropped by half based on what I've seen. But anyway, I look at it and I was like, oh, so he's pre-selling tickets. So pre-selling tickets is not asking people to donate to create a conference and then double dipping by telling people to buy the ticket. He's pre-selling tickets and he's pre-selling you know how they have like sponsorships. I can go there as a vendor. That's the same shit anybody does. A lot of people do that. And the thing about doing it through like Indiegogo is if the conference ends up not working or not doing it, and it ends up not happening, then the money will get refunded to your account. It's really that simple. And there's people buying tickets. Nobody has done the vendor thing yet. I think 14 people have done 15 people, I think 14 people have done the $500 thing. That's what it is. It is what it is. He's pre-selling stuff. It's a business model. And usually when Tariq and quite frankly Jason Black is doing a GoFundMe, they are pre-selling video sales. That's what they're doing. They're pre-selling their information, meaning they're just selling, and a lot of white boys do that. I've seen that. With I've seen people pre-sell for $1,500 to $2,000, and actually a little bit more, but we'll do that. $1,500 to $2,000 masterminds. I've seen white boys more on one occasion. They will literally sell a mastermind at their house for internet marketing, and they will sell it at $4,000 or $5,000 a pop. And this is normal. This is actually not abnormal. They will do a mastermind retreat for their home, and people will pay it, and no one will bitch. In fact, I've seen it get to the point where if anybody's saying anything, they won't even take their money because they don't want to hear the bullshit. I've seen that, and I've seen that more than once. I haven't been to one, but I know people that have paid that kind of money. Shout out to Sub Zero, who interviewed somebody by the name of Tehran, a black dude that makes at this point probably like $180,000 a month, and he's done such retreats. And this is a black man, so a lot of it has to do with how much money is being generated, and people are just hating on that shit. And then they're trying to pull the same Umar thing. The difference between Tariq and Umar is Tariq has never promised you something he hasn't delivered. The only thing you could say is that damn web shit, but that app. Other than that, Umar is not the same as Umar with a school. It's not the same. So anyway, let me drop this link and see what y'all got to say. I haven't seen y'all comments yet, so I'll go through them. I love this StreamYard shit. I really do. Because I can control who gets on here. You understand? Like, I give them dudes credit. They really put together a good product. This shit is way easier than fucking Hangouts. Let's see. Do. Man, DJ Kuda, no, there's others. There's others that do what they say they're gonna do. What's up, Super Triz? I need those my bad for being lazy. I need those passwords for the Black Manosphere Instagram page, because I'm going to seriously start putting up content. I got the type of content we're gonna put up there now. This is what I'm talking about. Hurricane Henry or B More. Like, he don't even know who Yvette Tone is. So a lot of that. But I'm curious. Let's see what y'all got. Yeah, Jesse, that is who helped. Like, and people want to act like that's not who helped do it. And shout out, there was a sister that said that on O'Shea's platform. She said, I didn't even know who Tone and them were. And a lot of people don't, because a lot of people don't you mainly know who Tone is earlier on through Zoe. And a lot of people know who Zoe is through Corey Holcomb. Scott Gray says Tariq is for the paper first. I like Tariq, but that is simply the truth. Okay, so I'm trying to understand where the problem is, because quite frankly, when I say I'm an economic pro-black, that means I believe in using economics to drive the agenda. Economics comes before politics. That is what Dr. Claude Anderson said. It goes economics, politics, law, the judiciary, media, then education. Because education is really just there to teach you how to do the other four. DJ Kuda, I don't know about that. I do think Tariq at one point was a pimp. AM1 saying none of these people can be trusted. Trust yourself first. And I need to get AM1 Ramil on the same page, because they on the same page with that shit. He was a Mac. I don't know, man. He might have been. He might have been a pimp. But I don't even care about that shit, to be honest with you. The way I see it, anyone said the way I see it, you never actively know and hustle your own people, then you can never truly be trusted. Well, I mean, AM1. What's the definition? I'm curious. I want to see. I know you got shit to do. It's Saturday. You and Northern Cali. I'm curious for you to elaborate on that because I really want to know what is Tariq done to actually hustle. I want to like seriously, and I'm not being stupid. I mean for real because everybody talks about innuendo. Oh, we got somebody.
What's good, boy?
Up, Aegon of House. Oh, I'm about to fuck that up.
Atreides is from Dune. The sci-fi movie called Dune. Well, it's a book, really.
You said Doom?
Dune, Dune, about the spice planet.
Oh, I saw y'all. Yeah, I saw that, man. Do you understand how old I was when I saw that fucking movie? With the blue eyes, but hand over the fire and shit.
Hell yeah, that shit is deep. That fucking.
I've never really got into it. It has nothing. It's just, and I actually like sci-fi, but
I think you would like it. I think you would like it, yo. It's pretty good.
I just thought that was some old shit. My mom had me watch it, telling me watch this and shut the fuck up, and I was like, it was that in Star Wars. But anyway, so I want to try to stay on topic. So yes. So what is your opinion on this situation? Have you been seeing a lot of videos being thrown back and forth with a lot of different content creators and shit?
Yeah. About ADOS and Foundational Black Americans and Tariq Tone Naved, that whole shenanigans was going on with that. And Michi X coming at him about how much his conference costs and stuff like that. For me personally, I don't care what he's asking for because a lot of people ask for a lot of money because I'm not gonna count nobody else's pockets. It's good if he's gonna give it to him or not. That's not my judgment to call because I wouldn't call him a white guy. My thing is that Tariq seems like a super fraud. I mean, if you go down his history, like I don't even think he was a mech or a pimp because turns out the guy it was actually a pimp called Rose.
Yeah, no. Actually, let's go through the fraud thing. So yeah, keep going.
It was a guy named Rosebud that Tariq interviewed to get tips on macking and pimping and what the life was like style before he was on who's that white guy's documentary? That fat white dude who made all the 9/11 things and stuff like that. I forgot his name.
Michael Moore.
Michael Moore, yeah. So if he really was a pimp, then why would he need to interview a pimp about the pimp lifestyle? That makes no sense. I also think it's kind of suspect that how do you have a group called Melanoid Nation, but you come at another man's skin color that's actually darker than you? I mean, like that makes no sense. And then he could at least just said sorry about it, but he doubled down and made a puppet in a video game, and then
yes, a video game I bought, by the way. And this yes, I did, and it's actually very entertaining. But go ahead.
Hold on. So how do you support a guy who is crispy?
Well. First, here's the thing. So I'm glad you brought these things up because the old school thing. The first thing you said is actually something a lot of people don't bring up. But the same thing, the other thing is something that everybody brings up, and this is where a lot of this is coming from. Is a lot of his Tommy support. So let's be clear here. Although people want to say now he made the documentary, Tariq took not Tariq. The issue that he had with Tommy Sotomayor was a fallout over a business dealing. Also, Tommy, hold on, let me go because it's the same thing with Jason Black and Tommy. Because Jason Black used to fuck with Tommy. And everybody that has an issue with had an issue because they've actually since squashed all this shit. Jason Black, because when Jason Black used to call Tommy call him the fraud. If I don't know if you listen to him, but this was like a while back. He did that for like a couple of years. That was actually him talking about Tommy. 1, then Corey Holcomb. 2, then actually Corey, and that really had something to do with how Tommy did with Zoe, and Zoe actually does fuck with Tone. And then it was but here's the hold on. Then it was Tariq. And Tariq, so that's how that worked. Now, going back to the crispy shit, let me be clear here. Tariq is if he was light skinned and I'm light skinned, it may be a different thing. Tariq is a brown skinned dude. Motherfuckers talk shit about people all the time.
People don't talk.
O'Shea, everybody. So this thing about, well, if you say something about somebody being dark, because by the way, Umar actually has gone after light skinned people a couple of
He
times.
account for that
Jason
too.
has done that.
But all those people you name is suspect. Like, how do you call a dark? How do you have a
So
group
question, give me an example of who isn't suspect.
A person that's not suspect.
Like a name. Give me a name. Give me, out of all these people that we've named, or anybody on YouTube. I'm asking you because it's easy to say everybody's suspect. It tells me a lot more when you're making a comparison. So who isn't suspect to you?
I would say, well, if you want to put it there, I'll say Tommy Sotomayor is less suspect than Tariq. You know why? Let me back that up. Anybody that he talks to or talks about, he goes to where they live at and talks to them. Like, he'll go to where they
I'm gonna allow you to have your opinion, but do you realize that I put on the video that the majority of people that can't stand Tariq are usually people that support Tommy?
And okay, and I have no problem with that, and I actually am a Tommy supporter. But the problem is that I'm very logical, and if Tommy was on some bullshit, I can agree with you that he was. Now, these deals that you're talking about that fell through, it really wasn't, because Tommy questioned Tariq about the Jews, can I say that? But the Jews part in Hidden Colors that he never brings up. And Tariq
Umar brings that up. Those are the white folks that help power his fucking cameras.
Umar brought that up later. Tommy brought that up years ago. He brought that up years ago.
Okay, so do you think black people should be anti-Jewish?
I think black people should question black people that aren't that won't hold Jewish people accountable.
Okay, so you think Jewish people should be held accountable? Oh yeah, I'll go all the way. We'll go all the way where this goes. So do you think Jewish people should be held? Because I just put them in the white folks category.
I think everybody should be held accountable. Black people, white, Martians, anybody.
But it's a particular thing. There's a particular tract of black people that seem to have a particular. Because really, we have a mixed history with Jewish people.
Agree. Like, we have history with everybody. Native Americans. I mean, like, we're not.
No, we don't. Native Americans fucked us, and they ended up losing. Certain groups have fucked us up. Like, for instance, we have a mixed history with Italians. We have a mixed history. We have a more hate relationship with Irish, but the Native Americans didn't fuck with us from jump, and they've always fucked.
Native Americans own slaves. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. The Native Americans fucked us, so we don't have a mixed history with them. We have
because there's some people that didn't have problems with Native Americans. They was born because they was basically in their families too, because people had sex with them too. So
when I say mixed history, I'm talking about a history where at some point we had aligned objectives, and at other points we didn't.
Well, it's hard to have aligned objectives when they had the Trail of Tears and it was pushed off into the mid Americas. It's kind of hard.
So you're justifying Indians fucking with black people when everything, all that shit was white people.
I'm saying everybody should be held accountable to an extent. So what I'm saying is that if Tariq wasn't holding Jewish people accountable, and Tommy brings that up, and then all of a sudden Tariq starts.
Okay, Tommy's with a white woman. So if I'm if I say I'm pro-black, I could tag him with that. So you telling me Jewish people are worse than actively fucking with a white person?
No, what I'm saying is that if you're scared to talk about a group, it shows that there's something wrong with something. It shows a suspectness, because if that group does something wrong, you're not going to say anything.
Does Tommy talk shit about white people?
He talks shit about everybody. That's why he can't stay friends with anybody.
He hasn't talked shit about, and he talks shit about white people. I'd like to see that video.
Because you don't watch Tommy. He talks shit about everybody.
I'm telling you, I'm saying, I didn't say he didn't.
Okay.
I just said, when you get a chance, if you can provide me with a link where he's doing that.
Well, it's very hard to, because many of his channels get knocked down. Like he's on like his 20th channel. It's hard to show that. Like what I'm trying to say,
so he doesn't do it often enough.
He doesn't have to do it often, because if he does it, that's not his stick. But if he's willing to do it, and that shows that he's balanced.
How many black people do you know that actually actively goes at Jews? Like content creators.
One that I've seen Tommy do it, because he made one about pedophilia in the Jewish community. They knocked down that channel. I think Louis Farrakhan used to do it until a certain extent, and then he stopped. And not that many. Because they know
So what makes Tariq so special? Because I ain't never heard Umar, any of these motherfuckers really go with you. There's a reason for that black people like to conveniently ignore, but okay.
It makes Tariq special because you can't keep running around talking about some white supremacy, and you scared to come at Jews.
Umar does it. Everybody does it.
Umar's crazy.
Well, what I'm saying is there is not a single Obama, a politician, anybody. Jason doesn't do it. Nobody does it. So it's like this particular. Here's the thing.
I just said Tommy does it. Hold on. I just said Tommy does it.
Yes, and I made it, and this is what I said. Because here's the thing: Tariq has his fans, but so does Tommy.
And I'm a fan of Tommy, but I'm willing to tell you. I'm willing to tell you if Tariq is right or he's wrong. I'm gonna say that Tommy's right or Tommy wrong, but Tariq is. You can't have a group called.
That's kind of like me saying I believe in capitalism, but I'm willing to say when communism has a right idea. Generally, it doesn't work that way.
Yes, generally it don't, but some people can really be like that, and those are people that flourish and know how to think, have dual minds, and know how to think, be critical thinkers. You can't have a group called Melanoid Nation and then come at a dark-skinned person being crispy because you're not disrespecting just him.
Was doing. First of all, he was doing that. Like I'm not even gonna justify that. But let me tell you something. We got motherfuckers on this bitch calling motherfuckers pedophiles in the manosphere. So we already know how black people are.
I mean, you can't just say whatever you want and then have.
Are you mad that he called somebody crispy, or are you mad that he called Tommy crispy?
I'm not mad. It's not about anger. I'm kind of mad at people that like Tariq for not calling him out for calling a dark-skinned person crispy, because if you come at a dark-skinned person being crispy and you have a group named Melanoid Nation, you're coming at the moniker.
I mean, so if he would have named it something else, that really would have made it a big deal.
What I'm saying is that you're coming at every dark-skinned person. That is a very hurtful word to say, especially when you're saying white supremacy and Melanoid Nation. Crispy should not be in your diatribe. That's a very hurtful word to dark-skinned people. You can't come at. That's like
what dark-skinned people call light-skinned people, light-skinned black men, feminine and gay. They don't give a fuck about that.
Crispy is two different things because dark-skinned people have a different role than all other black people.
So that means, like really, Tommy and Tariq are not that far off skin tone wise.
Yo, dark skinned people. Yes, they are. Dark skinned people are the purest form of black people in America because
Tariq, he's not that. Tommy is not that dark.
Yes,
you make it sound like so. Tommy's blue black to you.
He's not blue black, but he's dark. He's very dark.
Okay, so you're saying what?
Everybody comes out nobody calls Tariq crispy. Nobody calls Tariq dark skin. What are you talking about?
So
not that far off. Nobody ever calls Tariq dark skin.
You gonna have me pull up a damn picture and compare these motherfuckers, man?
I would love you to do it, and I love to be proved wrong. You can't
but you see how all this energy you got, and I knew the person that was gonna come up was gonna be somebody. Here's the thing I want to see. Anybody that's not a Tommy supporter got an issue. Because here's the thing. As far I get what you're saying. No, for real. Because I said it. I said it before you came up. I said the majority of heat that's coming for Tariq. And these motherfuckers are usually motherfuckers that don't like him because of the Tommy shit.
The things that he did was suspect to him. How do you
take this shit? Okay, other than those two things, go. What else? So we got those two tracks. We got the Melanoid, because he made a title, Melanoid Nation, of a domain name. You know, there's motherfuckers that could call me a sand Negro and say, who am I to come up with a classic black man mag? But okay, so because he did Melanoid Nation, and because I'm gonna even give you one, because he has a mixed wife that's half black and half Jewish, and because he doesn't talk about Jews. That's what makes Tariq suspect. Okay, what else?
Around white people in the Hollywood Hills, and then constantly comes at black people for being poor.
Okay, there's only 350,000 black people in Los Angeles. So where should he live? He should live where Nipsey Hussle lived, and got killed. I mean, what are we talking about?
There are good black. What's Baldwin Hills? There are rich.
I live around white people. But go ahead. He lives around white people in Hollywood Hills.
But if I'm screaming white supremacy to the top of my lungs, why would I live around white people?
Wow. Okay, so what? That see what it sounds like is you're
What?
saying you're putting okay.
You
No,
can't
no.
answer.
What I'm telling you, I can tell you right now, 99% of everybody talk. I can tell you right now, Jason Black probably
Dog.
did not live around a whole bunch of. By the way, name me prosperous do you know of a prosperous black community in Los Angeles?
Baldwin Hills.
Baldwin Hills. So
Yes.
if he doesn't live in Baldwin
BTS
Hills,
talks about him
that
all
means
the
there's an
time.
issue.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not
so he
saying it's an
lives.
issue,
Hold
but
on. So he's talking about white supremacy, but he lives around white people. He doesn't go out of his way to call out Jewish people,
you got a
and
mixed
even
wife.
though Jewish people are white in the United States,
You got a mixed
um,
wife.
and he's got a mixed wife, even though his daughter is black with a black woman. So he's got 3/4 black kids that's half black and half Jewish. But okay. And he called Tommy crispy.
And he
That so
comes
we
at
got three
and
things. Next.
he has attacked no white people with the same type of energy he attacked Tommy.
That's not true.
Give me
But
one.
go ahead.
Give me one. Give me one.
I mean, he's always on TV talking about these white folks, talking to these white folks. What are
Give
we
me
talking
one.
about?
Give me. You said all these people. Give me one. Give me one so I can go
I just
research like
said
things that's correct.
HLN, Fox News.
So what? So he has done things to the extent of make a crispy video
And quite
game.
frankly, Tommy's not the only one he's gone at. He's gone at many others.
He made a crispy video
Again,
game.
all of this is about fuck Tommy.
No.
Give me some shit other than Tommy. Because real talk, my thing is I don't give a fuck about Tommy. And Tommy ain't pro-black. So the conversation with Tariq is talking about the pro-black side. So bringing somebody that clearly has already said he takes himself out of that.
Destroys his pro-black argument for what he did to a dark-skinned person when he was mad at them. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Again, all of this stuff is rotating back to Tommy.
Because if a dark-skinned person makes you mad and you say you for black people and you just rip them to shreds for how dark they
okay, so at the end of the day, hey guy, I'm gonna tell you something. Black people don't give a fuck about that because those same people are giving Tommy money.
That means black people are stupid then.
Okay, then that's your opinion and you can have it. But clearly black people, because nobody even talks about that no more, except for Tommy supporters.
Well, just because
even Michi X didn't bring that up. They just bring up the money.
Well, I mean, that doesn't make it not true and not that doesn't make it that it doesn't still hold to his character. Like just because people don't bring it up.
I'm not caping. I mean, hey, hold on. This ain't you. This is in the chat. Y'all can come up here too. I mean, he's the only one that's actually come up. So he gets to put it from his perspective because ain't none of y'all coming up. Like I said, man, look, when I'm looking up in here, other than like this is what this shit always Mr. Shane Vicious says that Baldwin Hills is nearly half white now. I think BGS can fucking confirm that as well. And by the way, this is not the shit that the people that were talking to me offline were talking about. This is not what they were talking about. So I want to be fair to them. And then, so let's hold on. Give me a second. And these are not going to be stuff against you. These are against me. So Spliff says that I'm caping hard as fuck. So Spliff, why do you come up here? Are you a Tommy supporter? Because my thing, I'm not sitting there and saying that people don't have to be a Tommy supporter. But what that's saying is folks have an axe to fucking grind. So if they have an axe to fucking grind, because it's all about him, because anything that's being tagged to him, I can tag to almost everybody. And by the way, you did go on record saying that everybody is suspect but Tommy. And actually, majority of people actually think Tommy is one of the most suspect people.
Well, but I said nobody's perfect. When I'm saying that he's the least suspect because he puts his money where his mouth is. He puts his life on the line. Like this dude goes.
He puts his life on the line.
So when he went around the House of Conscience and got attacked, right? So that's not being around people that dislike you, that openly could hurt you, and you have no bodyguard with you. That's not.
So what is Tommy? Since we're gonna do this, what is Tommy Sotomayor? Now dude talk about Tariq is a bit moist. Like I said, man. I mean, for real, man. Because if somebody hold on, if somebody see me come at somebody. I'm not coming with that. I'm not talking about you. I'm flipping between you.
I know. I feel it's kind of corny because that has nothing to do with the topic. Bringing up his sexuality. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Mr. Shane Vicious says, but you got Jewish people have been more helpful to blacks than most other groups. Like I said, Jewish people. When a lot of people don't realize that in the Black Wall Street days, Jewish people, even though they weren't getting fucked up like us, they were still being the difference. This is the key difference, and I'm probably gonna have to take this off because they'll try to knock my channel up for this. This is the key difference between black people and Jewish people. Jewish people are willing to genetically assimilate. They run to genetically assimilate with white people and preserve their culture. So basically, they are their culture, but they're still Jewish. So they still operate on those codes. And so they still believe in white supremacy in a situation like that because they still run with it. Versus black people, for the most part, still believe in preserving their genetics. That is where black people and Jewish people split because economically, Jewish people were getting fucked over just like black people. They were getting denied loans and stuff like that. Now, they weren't getting attacked like we were, not in the same way like we were physically. Let's be clear about that. But when it comes to businesses and stuff, they had all of that. Where we split was when they said, no, we race and assimilate fully. We was like, no, we're not doing that. Quite frankly, to be honest with you, because a lot of black people didn't get the choice. Jewish people got a choice to do that. A lot of black people didn't. So there's probably a lot of black people that would have.
Personally, I don't think black people are trying to preserve their genetics. I just think they're just not. I think because if a lot of black women had the option to be with white dudes, they would. I really don't believe that.
Well. You're talking about black women. I'm talking about black. Hold on. I'm talking about black. No, that's not true. Because we would have been. Black men don't not deal with white women because they don't have access to them. Like the reality of the situation is we would have been did it. And I'm not saying that in the future it might not happen, but black men are with black women a lot more than with motherfuckers. That shit is only just now starting to really start to tip. But for the most,
because we've been it's been like 50 years out of Jim Crow. I mean, if Jim Crow ended in 1910, everybody here would be looking like Drake.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think people are just saying that, but because that's where they see stuff going now. But the reality of the situation is, I mean, if you look at this country compared to other countries in the Western Hemisphere, I mean, it is what it is. And we don't know what the future may hold. But folks don't know that either because people think it's a whole bunch more biracials and mulattoes running around than there actually is. And one of the issues I have with that shit is black people are too focused on light-skinned black people and now focused on black women operating as a buffer class. It's a myth how many light-skinned people there are really serving as a buffer class, the actual numbers. The real buffer class is in black women, immigrants, and then yes, maybe in biracials that can play both sides. That's the combination. The majority of that combination, the vast majority of that combination is black. Like 80% of that is black women as far as buffer class. The other stuff just is just sprinkled on the cake. So when people say, oh, well, I see on TV these light-skinned people, which is not true because we see a lot of sisters on there too and stuff like that. That's a very small, that's like 10,000 people, not even that. So anyway, but I'm trying because there ain't nobody coming up because I mean, I kind of knew this is where it would go through. It would go this is what I see. And I'm not saying people don't have a right to have their opinions, but the reality is they're saying Jewish people use blacks. I mean, my thing is black people need to create their own fucking channels and platforms. And if they really got to axe the grind when it comes to Jewish people, they need to let that out. Because I know too many people like behind the scenes where they are really harboring that shit. And they usually express it through like Alex Jones and shit. But they are really harboring this thing. I know black people that actually believe that white people are not the real issue, that it's they think Jewish people control white people, which Jewish people do not have the financial numbers to do that. They don't have the numbers to do that, but they really believe. It's like me telling somebody God is not real. That's how deep they harbor that thought. Look, I'm not gonna tell them they're wrong, but I'm just saying they hold on to that shit a lot more than I hold on to a lot of shit. They believe you solve that problem, you solve the problem. And what a lot of black people don't understand is a lot of what Adolf Hitler got a lot of what he did from what America was kind of thinking about doing to us and just not got around to it. A lot of people don't realize that what they really want to focus on what quote unquote Jews are doing. I just lump them in with all of the white folks, but it is what it is. And I do, yeah, exactly. Jews are white, but black people put them in this special superhuman category. I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about like in general. So anyway,
I mean, you made a comment about Cynthia G getting the FBI sent to his house, and that shows that like white supremacy is against them. Like, so you telling
I
me
mean,
that?
the comment, when I said that, I mean, at the end of the day, the FBI, first of all, it takes a lot to be on the FBI's radar in general.
No,
So why was it the police?
I don't think it does. Not these days. Not that the Patriot Act. I don't think it's that hard to be on FBI.
All right.
That's radar. You gotta do is say a bunch of wild stuff.
I mean, that's all right. I mean, at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is one thing black people have a problem with. And notice how we haven't even talked about Tone and Yvette, which tells me a lot. Is they say, do I like this nigga or do I not like this nigga? And based on that prism, everything else flows. Because we ain't even said nothing about Tone or Yvette.
No. I said I was just telling you my my stick with why I think that he's suspect. Now, what I say he does make a lot of good points. I can agree. He does. The fact that it seemed like Tone and Yvette didn't know what they was doing with ADOS, and he was basically trying to make something happen with it. I can agree with that. Like they were kind of like it's like, what were they doing? Were they just trying to be a hashtag movement or just stay in one spot? And he was basically trying to move the thing forward. But the weird thing about that is that why would he call it Foundational Americans instead of trying to work with them?
Because he wanted to create something that he owned and controlled, because that's how he thinks, because that's what most black people are supposed to think like.
And on some real, I can't find nothing wrong with that, because let's say like he did join them and then all their stuff was chewed up and messed up, he really couldn't change it. So if he has his own thing, then he could do that. I have no problem with that. It's just that it's things that go behind it. I mean, the messenger does matter. The messenger does matter.
I mean, you know, when you look at how any other groups would inform me about a lot of this stuff, is how, like, for instance, just to not even talk around the shit, I think black people can learn a hell of a lot from the Tea Party. I don't agree ideologically with a lot of their bullshit, and they are a lot of them are alt-right racists, but tactically, black people can absorb a lot from what they do. They terraformed the Republican Party in 8 years, but nobody's talking about us doing that to the Democratic Party in the same tactical way.
I agree with that. I can really agree with that. But you give me like a person of another race that's just like Tariq, that white people support to get a job done. Because they'll put their differences to the side to be like, yo, we're going to support this dude, even though he's fucking out of his fucking mind and he got a spotty track record.
If it comes down to it, but I'm going to tell you something. Tariq is like, for instance, most Democrats, especially the white male Democrats, I say a lot of Democrats don't fucking like that Nancy Pelosi is pretty much the leader of the Democratic Party. But guess what? She raises the most fucking money. And until somebody can match that, which means the donors back her. So until somebody can match that, they can't knock her out. That's why they won't even run against her. Like people that kind of could make kind of maybe go for it, they won't, because if they go and they miss, they're done. And a lot of people in the Democratic Party don't like Nancy Pelosi, and they think Nancy, the same shit you just said. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying the same people that say what you just said, they say that about Nancy. Because look at all of the like Republicans. Would you agree the Republicans in general always like it? They like to run against Nancy. They like to run against the idea of Nancy Pelosi. Would you agree with that statement?
Say that one more time.
Would you agree that the generally Republican politicians like to run against Nancy Pelosi?
No, they don't.
They don't like to run. So they don't like to create commercials against her, talk about how much of a liberal she is and these are the policies she wants to pass.
Yeah. They love to do that shit.
But but she's still the leader. Why? I'm telling you, because she can raise the most money. So it doesn't matter. And I actually think Nancy would do a lot to step the fuck down to help the Democratic Party. But she doesn't want to, because you already had her turn this chair, or speaker. But guess what? She can raise the most money and nobody else can compete. And that's kind of the thing with Tariq. Tariq has two traits tactically. He has the ability to speak to a big sector of black people that other people can't speak to, like the street sector. And he has the ability to raise a lot of money, which is a tangible result of that. So until that becomes an issue where people are willing, and you got to understand what people, if a white person comes around and say, I'm willing to give you all this money, but I can't work with Tariq. So now all of a sudden that becomes suspect because now you become like Black Lives Matter. So
but he already show signs of that by being scared of Jews. He doesn't already like show signs of already being.
Well, I mean, that's some shit people put out because people are waiting for people are waiting for Tariq. It's kind of like a racist saying, I heard you say I hate niggers recently, so you need to prove that to me. I mean, at the end of the day, if that's a hang up, most black people don't have that hang up. If y'all have that hang up, then y'all gonna have that hang up.
Let's go like this. What's his track record? What how he deals with black people? What's his track record?
Guess what? I don't have to defend that because the thing is, if you're talking, I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you're having a conversation with somebody that decides to give him money, you have every right to the extent that they'll hear you to put that shit out there. I could say the same thing with Tommy. At the end of the day, you're gonna fuck with him because that's what you want to do. So when people say what is it, it's the same thing, but that's what I'm saying. The people that donate to Tariq don't donate to him out of ignorance. They know who he is and what he's about. He's put all his bad shit out there. Like Tariq, I mean, a lot of people fuck with him because of that. It's kind of like Minister Jap. If somebody says, like, if somebody would have told me, did you know that Minister Jap has said that he feels very good when he finds out that a woman that cheated on him supposedly gets their ass beat by the dude that they cheated of. Have you ever heard that? Motherfuckers will be like, yeah, that's why I fuck with him. Or they may not say that, but that's in their head they're thinking. So I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
But if the conversation comes back to if he's trying to help black people, and then there's all these things pointing in the negative of that, it should be brought up like that.
You can no, and I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told the other person. You have every right to bring that up, and people are either gonna. You have the right to make that case.
But then doesn't that make you suspect? If you're trying to say you're helping black people, but your actions, your record say the opposite.
It's kind of like any politician. All politicians are suspect, but guess what? People still vote for these motherfuckers. Why? Yeah, because if they fuck with them, they fuck with them. Just like how I don't like Tommy. I think Tommy's a fraud, personally. I think he sucked a lot of money out of people, and he just now decided to produce that recently, a while ago, produced that damn documentary. But motherfuckers fuck with Tommy as evident of how many times and I don't, by the way, I don't ever believe his channel should have been knocked down. If people listen to him, then people listen to him. I said that shit was wrong back when that shit was happening to him. So but as a result, Tommy's channel has been knocked down more than anybody, and Tommy, Jap, there's a couple of others, very few people, but people fuck with them that hard where it does. The only thing Tommy has not been able to do is really get y'all motherfuckers off of YouTube. And if he can do that, then the sky's the limit. For some reason, y'all won't listen to him out of YouTube. That's the only thing he has not been able to do. But a lot of people haven't done that. But other than that, y'all fuck with him that hard.
But isn't it kind of suspect that Tariq doesn't get knocked off YouTube?
Tariq has had about 7 of his channels knocked out. I know, because I'm subscribed to him. It's not as nowhere near as much as Tommy, but you got to understand that Tariq is. I'm not saying Tommy's not business savvy, because I know people that go way back to Tommy, even when he was doing like radio or trying to do that in Atlanta. But what I'm saying is Tariq is a marketer. So, and that's a lot of stuff he does is based on marketing. So and he knows a lot. Like, for instance, when people talking about that damn, notice how people that fuck with Tariq, which are black people, dark skinned people, did not really give a fuck about that crispy shit because they just applied that to Tommy. Like a lot of people that fuck, like it was only people that was on Tommy's side. Yeah, you can say that.
They
are
ignorant.
You can say that. You can say that, but that's their choice.
No, but I'm saying it's the truth. It's not I can say that. How are you not ignorant?
It's their choice.
I never said it. Things can happen both at the same time. You can be ignorant and it be a choice. If a dude is telling you that a dark skinned person is crispy, but he's saying he's for black people, that kind of tells you where his allegiance lies. Well,
Tariq has never said. First of all, Tariq is black. So he doesn't have to prove that he's for black people. Also, Tariq has also gone out of his way to say he's not a leader.
And then he
says that over and over again. So Tariq's a businessman.
He lied about it too. He said, "Yo, you crispy," and then he asked him, like, "Why is he making fun of my skin?" He said, "It's because you ashy," and we all know what the fuck that shit means. So that means he tried to backtrack on
That's called trolling. A lot of people do it. I'm not defending what he's doing. I'm just saying I wouldn't call a nigga crispy. You know, I got a lot of things I can do before I do that.
Nation. You got a group called. You shouldn't be calling people crispy because you want.
But again, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. If you were arguing with people that donate to him, are these arguments things that you actually think will move these people?
No, I don't care. What I'm trying to do is just basically we're having an argument about. I mean, we're basically talking about something that you brought up, and what I'm saying is that this dude is suspect because he has made these decisions, regardless if he did the Tommy or other people. He's suspect.
These things are codes for I don't like them. They're not real codes for suspect. They're codes for I don't like him.
Okay. Let me say this.
We're just using suspect because that carries more rumor weight.
What national? So is Vlad a Jew?
I don't know. Last time I checked, Vlad was Eastern European. I don't like Vlad.
Okay. Vlad is an Eastern European Jew. He's Eastern European Jew.
It doesn't matter. Like my thing is, why do you hold on? Why does it matter that if he's Jewish? Why does that matter? I got a question for you. Do you believe that Jewish people are the principal white people that are fucking black people up?
No, but they're a part of that. They are a group of them that does it. All white people aren't the fucking same.
Because I never hear black people bring up any other group. You got Anglo-Saxons, you got Germans, you got Eastern Europeans, you got Gauls, which are the French, which are fucking up the Francophone countries, which basically suck up a hell of a lot. Like I can go down. You got white Hispanics, but it's always the Jews that get this special little place with certain black people where they keep saying that. And a lot of that, I'm gonna keep it real, I think y'all be getting that from other white people, like Alex Jones, which by the way is code for I'm not your enemy. It's those motherfuckers that I can't practice racism on that's your enemy. So let's be friends as useful, because that's usually generally the origin of where I hear a lot of that shit come from, which is y'all getting that from other white folks. Folks.
Okay, so
but go ahead. I'll let you talk.
Okay. Vlad is an Eastern European Jew. Tommy had an interview with him. Tariq busts in the interview. We never ever seen this on Vlad TV ever before. He busts in there and tries to hand him a Crispy Award. This guy who says he's for black people. He's never busted into a white person's interview. He busted into another black man.
Come on, if you want to say I'm suspect, which is code for you don't like what I'm saying. No, I'm talking about the dude on the damn chat. Go ahead. Oh yeah, because of the busting thing.
Well,
yeah.
That never ever I've never seen him do it to a white person, but he does it to a black person first for a Jew. So basically, to make another black man look stupid and to give a Jew higher ratings, he did it. I mean, he did that action. That is suspect. If you're saying you're for black people, if you're saying you're an entertainer, there's no argument. Tariq is the best entertainer ever.
Okay, I mean, my thing is, so are you saying because he's suspect, black people shouldn't support him?
Yes, that's a waste of money. I'm not
okay. So black people are going to. So what are you going to do about it?
No. My personal belief is that they shouldn't. If they do that, that's what they do. I'm just saying my opinion. They spend the money however they want to. This is my opinion. You have a show. I want to say my opinion.
Yeah, because I think Tommy's suspect. That's not going to stop you from supporting him.
But then the thing is that if you bring up what Tommy's suspect about, and then you're right about it, I'll agree with you. You said the business deals. It wasn't no business deal. It was about him disagreeing about the Jewish people in Hidden Colors. The Zoe thing. It was about a girl that Tommy had sex with, and Zoe was pillow talking, and Tommy found out about it. Corey Holcomb got mad about it because Zoe is this little bitch, and he didn't want to make it. He didn't want his man to look salty, so
Zoe is a bitch now. Okay.
No, he is the way he acted in that whole situation. He was pillow talking to another girl. When you call a dude a bitch, if he was pillow talking with a girl you had sex with and was hating on you behind your back, that's bitch shit. Where I'm from.
I mean, from where, like basically, no matter what, it's gonna always put Tommy in the he's a victim role. I mean, that sounds like a fan, but that's fine, But at the end of the day, this whole conversation has been really predicated around Tommy, which I even said I didn't even expect that to happen. But I said that was on the last thing I said before I brought somebody up. I said a lot of these people that don't like this talking all this shit about Tariq because they got to axe the grind because of Tommy.
But then every time I make up a point that's the truth, you keep changing it to saying that could be my opinion when it's actually the truth about this man. So you are caping for him. Because you're not saying when it's the truth, you're not saying it's the truth.
Well, no. Most of the shit you're saying is most of the shit you're saying is shit that black people do anyway. Like when hold on. You have been in the manosphere. You have listened in the manosphere, and you have heard god awful shit that motherfuckers have said in the manosphere, far beyond a lot of that Tariq bullshit. You've heard motherfuckers get threatened. You've heard motherfuckers be called gay, be called suspect, be called pussies on live in their face to them. Some motherfuckers still fuck with each other after that fact.
They are not pushing pro-black agendas. They are not on.
Yeah, most people in the manosphere. Yeah, we just had somebody that came through here calling himself an animal. You know what type of animal it is, because if you say his name 3 times, he'll come around talk about he's the best at that. Most of them will do that under the guise of pushing pro. My point is this: a lot of what you have said and a lot of what's in the chat is really predicated now, because at the end of the day, what it comes back down, I'd say I don't give a fuck what your opinion is on that, because what it comes the fuck down to is the real issue motherfuckers really have with Tariq is the fact that motherfuckers fuck with him despite what other people may think. And that's no different than any other politician. So folks get hyper mad. So whenever they get the opportunity to throw darts at his ass, they go out of their way. But then they're going to say, well, and kudos, because you actually said you're actually not doing that. Because a lot of people will say, they'll get under the ADOS thing and say, oh, look at what Tariq's doing. He's trying to destroy shit and blah, blah, blah. And there's a small group of people where that's not where it's coming from. But a majority of that bullshit is really coming from these previous things that have happened. Because this is usually what's not brought up. What's brought up with Tariq is all of a sudden the money thing. And it's like they don't want to go behind that because they don't really think that they bring these things up that it'll matter. So it's like people trying to find what works. I'm talking about with this current issue that's going on with the meat. That's why Meechie X was able to get that much traction, because anybody that talks shit about Tariq Nasheed that's a female will always get some traction, because there's always some people that are thirsty for that shit. And it is what it is. So I'll let you finish up. But who the fuck else want to come up? Because all y'all want to talk this shit. See, caping for Tariq. It doesn't matter. I don't like that you have an answer for what I'm saying. But so fuck you, man, and fuck Tariq. I don't give a fuck. I mean, as far as y'all don't like Tariq, y'all don't like Tariq. But what I'm saying is, I'm starting to think you're suspect because you don't like Tariq Nasheed. You're not saying fuck that motherfucker. I hate him. He likes Jews. He likes this. I don't even know why I don't like Jews. I don't like Jews because he's with one. Fuck it. I'ma say that. Get the fuck out of here. Who else? I mean, because this is the only shit. Because all this shit. Here's the thing. In a court of law, in a court of black people court, none of this shit is really this shit goes all the way back to subjection. None of this shit is like some real crime. He called a black person crispy. Yeah, that's fucked up. What? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of black people like that.
It goes against his agenda. It goes against his manifesto of being for melanated people. When the person has the most melanin, you make fun of it. It's like, what? It makes no sense, because you don't disrespect him. You disrespect everybody that has his skin color. And Tariq is not dark skinned. I wish you could pull a picture of him. He's not a dark skinned man.
I mean, with most black people, you ask 10 black people what their definition, dark skin, light skin, you get 10 different answers.
No,
so it depends on where they are. So you're like, so the true definition of dark skin is paper bag test. If you are beyond the paper bag test, you are classified. So if you want to call Tariq brown skin and what's called dark skin, then fine, go ahead.
Crispy's a hurtful word. It shouldn't be coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, but there's worse. So you're telling me that the worst thing you call a black person is crispy?
It's from another.
I'll give you times three.
It's not. But it's a damn. It damn sure is a high up there word, especially if you're saying you're for black people. was calling another black person Chris.
I mean, Tariq Nasheed is only called Tommy that. You'd have a lot more. I would give you a.
That's like a white person calling a black person
Yeah,
nigga.
yeah, but my thing is, I'm gonna be real with you. I would give you a lot more rope on that if he had a history of doing it. But that was a specific thing he tagged to him. He could have called Umar that shit.
He made a video game about a crispy puppet in a video game.
Yeah, because that is how much of a troll he is. And you know what? Motherfuckers bought that shit. I was actually impressed he was able to put together a video.
Black people are. Remember how you said, what do you say, like 75% of us are done? It flows into that region.
Well, you got to understand the type of people that Tariq fucks with. Tariq pulls from a lot of street folks. So that's a sector that a lot of black people cannot really reach that are in that space. So they thought this shit was funny. And these are some of the very people that but again, a lot of people that think people that fuck with Tommy are idiots too. Like seriously, well, I mean, they think, and I'm gonna tell you why, because a lot of people get tagged. A lot of people get tagged with Tommy's bullshit. So they'll say the whole manosphere is really Tommy and the band. So black women will use what Tommy says as a representation of what we all think. So we have to kind of count. That shit doesn't happen as much anymore, but it's like we had to counter that shit. So a lot of people built up a lot of resentment for that because that's where that came from. Now, that's not really Tommy's fault. That's more black women choosing to do that. But I'm just telling you where it came from. So at the end of the day, when it comes to my thing is just like take the Tommy versus Tariq, saga out of it. What the fuck is it really is. And it comes down to he's called somebody crispy. He's married to a mixed chick. He lives with white people in a house of Baldwin Hills, and he talks about white supremacy. Do you care? I got a question. Do you care about white supremacy?
I don't really think about it like that. Man, I work my ass off. It doesn't. I mean,
why do you care what he says if white supremacy is not something you think is an ever-present threat?
Because I have family members that bring it up and they act like it's a threat because they listen to idiots like him.
Is Tariq Nasheed one of these idiots?
Kind of.
Is he one of these idiots they reference, or they reference other folks?
He's one of them. Because
okay,
it's a lot of them dudes. They act like it's the end all be all. And
okay. Because you're informed. Because the difference is, I'm not saying that because of what you said to me, but you listen to Tommy, so you're usually should be more informed. It's not like you're somebody that you ain't on YouTube at all, so you don't know who the fuck any motherfuckers are. You're informed at least on these people. So what? I got a question for you. This is going to be interesting. So, and this is not a gotcha question. I promise. I'm not trying to get you. What? So, have you brought any of this stuff up with them? Like as far as Tariq,
like said anything to him, no,
not Tariq, no, I'm talking about to people that friends, family, whatever, that are on this pro-black shit that tries to bring that up, that tries to say, well, you should listen to this person, because like what I would do is I would say, like for instance, let's say somebody was trying to tell me about Tone, I would be like, first of all, you shouldn't listen to him because of XYZ. So kind of like what you were telling me as far as Tariq. Have you ever done that?
Well, I wouldn't tell him not to listen to him. I would listen to their points and then try to counter their points with like something simple and logic. I'm like, why would you think like this if this and this is like this in your life?
Well, are they trying to impose what they get from YouTube onto you? I guess that's why I thought that you were going with that.
Well, they're just saying it's like statements and like their emotions will be tied to it because they'll listen to guys like that, and then you're like, hold on, that's not really what's going on in the world. Like
okay, and how did they respond to that?
At first they like hurt, and then like they kind of into the arguments. We go back and forth, and then they come back later, and then like we make up. I mean, a lot of people. It's some people that want to keep believing the white supremacist thing. Some people they'll concede and be like, "Oh, I get what you're saying." So it's
because I'll give you an example. Like I have people that they'll tell me, even though I'm a Democrat, I'll tell black people, I say, y'all need to vote who you vote for. And really, I'll say a lot of times there's really no real reason black men should vote for the Democratic Party. And then motherfuckers, usually black women, will have a problem with that. I say, okay, give me a reason why a African-American black man should vote for the Democratic Party. Well, because of economics. Because what the fuck is economics? Like, what are you talking about? Like, for instance, do you even know where black men pull the majority of their economics from? Like, It's from the blue collar fields. So
shut up and vote, that type of shit. Yeah, I get
yeah.
that.
So I mean, motherfuckers, Tariq's a fraud. I mean, these are all okay. Here comes Donnie. Yeah, so it's funny because I get it, because if you go too hard, then these motherfuckers are gonna get mad, and because you're basically fucking with their worldview, and I get that. So I'm not saying you should. I'm just asking, what is your experience with that? Because clearly you know the players, and that's the difference. A lot of these people don't necessarily know the players, so they can't even form an informed opinion on them. Whether people want to agree with it or not, they can't even go that deep because they're just hearing this shit. But maybe they've been listening to Tariq for like a year, so they don't go back because he ain't done that in a year. That's been a minute. But the crispy stuff, the DJ Vlad stuff. See, I was listening to Jason Black, where Jason Black did a video breaking First of all, I don't like DJ Vlad, and yes, that is a tag against Tariq. That he doesn't want to throw DJ Vlad under the bus. But I'm gonna tell you, Tariq ain't the Tariq ain't the hold
on. You said he doesn't want to throw Vlad under the bus.
No, he said this is what he says. Something? Well, first of all, they ain't nothing. It's not Tariq's job to basically say, hold on, no. Let me compare. No, because I'm gonna give you. No, I'm gonna give you. Hold on. I'm about to give you a difference. You expect Tariq to basically declare for every white person he does not fuck with. DJ Vlad is not in the black community to the extent that he is.
He's in the
hold on.
Community?
No, it's not because of Tariq. Do you know the main black person? Hold on. DJ Vlad Tariq just did an interview with the motherfucker. Do you know who's the motherfucker that actually gives DJ Vlad his street credibility?
Who?
It's Lord fucking Jamar. That's the dude, and that's the dude that's done the most. Lord Jamar is the reason why DJ Vlad has not been culture vulture. So all them views, a lot of people don't realize this. DJ Vlad's website does like 6-7 million fucking views. His YouTube channel is not even his strongest asset. A lot of people don't know DJ Vlad has a financial thing going on too, as far as a financial training course. A lot of people don't know that.
He is big because of Lord Jamar, and he eats all blacks. But Lord Jamar has been on record calling DJ Vlad a culture vulture. And
bullshit. Yes, I want to see that link.
And Vlad asked him, "Yo, I was kind of hurt by you calling me a culture vulture." And he was like, "Yeah, you kind of are." And then he explained it to him to his face.
Yes, and Lord Jamar still co-signs him. And my thing is, and all them dudes that get on DJ Vlad shit, a lot of them are not anti-black. So, and none of them go at very few people go at DJ Vlad.
So I get it. So it's like this. Lord Jamar should come at DJ Vlad just like how Tariq Nasheed shouldn't be scared to throw this white boy under the
it sounds like to me is that you got to actually you just want DJ, you just want you want Tariq Nasheed to do some Farrakhan shit and say fuck Jews.
You can't tell me you against white people and then you go such to a far extent to make a video game about a black person, but then and bust into his interview, but when a white boy has the potential to mess
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it's like you got dudes that are former drug dealers that all of a sudden want to be pro-black.
That's dumb. I mean,
but I mean, at the end of the, but what I'm saying is, you got people that are pastors that have a fucking past. I'm not defending shit, but guess what? Black people still fuck with them. So, I mean, my thing is
and I keep saying it. Most black people are idiots.
Even black people that got money. So again, that's your opinion. So what happens is what we're gonna do is y'all gonna be screaming into but what y'all gonna do is y'all are screaming into the fucking wind. When I put my opinions out here, I say this is my opinion and you're accountable to who do you fuck with. And I leave it at that. I don't sit there and constantly hammer, unless it's some new shit going on, and then I'll recontextualize it. But people are gonna fuck with who they're gonna fuck with. And what I hear is a lot is motherfuckers are just mad that people fuck with Tariq to the extent that they do. But anyway, yeah, what's up, Donnie?
What's up, Ed? What's poppin'?
Fucking Jasmine Cashmere about to be a fucking pastor. And I'm gonna tell you right now, any of these motherfuckers to give her money, y'all are stupid.
Yo, what's up, man? But that's just your opinion. That's just your opinion, Ed. She might have to do
word. I heard you was suspect. Phantom of Depths think so.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna go there because most black people are scared to go there. I just need to know what are black people, why are black people putting Jews on this special platform. I need to understand where I want to know where black people are really getting that from. They're not getting that from other black people, in my opinion. I think personally, I submit to you, they're getting it from not DJ Vlad, they're getting it from fucking um um Alex Jones, and it's another dude Peterson too, which they're getting it from white people, but suspect. But anyway.
So what y'all talking about, the 80 situation?
I mean, no. Basically, what we're talking about is this is a case for it against Tariq Nasheed. A lot of motherfuckers like to be in the chat and basically just basically call Tariq all kinds of fraud, bitch, nigga, pimp, all that, but they're not getting up here to make the case. Granted, Aegon made the case, but a lot of it, and look, he made the case. He basically, I'm not even gonna say it does come down to Tommy shit, but he said Tariq says he's pro-black. Yet he called one black person crispy. He made a video game calling him crispy. He lives in Hollywood Hills, which is around white people. He doesn't live around black people. And he didn't even bring up to your credit like who he's married to, but he's never gone out of his way to basically say Jews are a part of what's fucking up black people. Those are the main ones.
All right, so where the man lives at, I don't see that as a big issue. You get money, you want to live in a big house, you can't do that in Compton. You can't. Yeah, you can live in the hood and people do all that shit, but the first thing motherfuckers do when they get money is they move into bigger and better. That man still has black businesses producing films about black black history and whatnot. So I don't see where he lives as a big issue as long as he's still contributing to the black community, right?
Agreed.
As far as his wife,
his wife is half Jewish, half black.
She's half Jewish. I mean,
yeah, the white side is the Jewish side. Yeah, that's black. How I charge it, and I don't mean white Jew either. Like,
she get arrested, she going to nigga jail. So, the Jewish side ain't gonna save her. So that's how I look at it, right? What was the other piece? He don't call out Jews. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, if you have a problem with white supremacy, white people and Jews is going to be on the same team for the most part. Yeah, you have white supremacists who look at Jews and they talk down on Jews and they want to separate themselves, but most of the Jews in power consider themselves white, and you can't tell the difference unless he got a yarmulke on or the little pendant with the Star of David. So I mean, I really don't see what the issue is, but I do see what the problem is with the FBA versus the 80 shit. Yvette Carnell and Tone got a little bit out of pocket.
Okay, so we haven't talked about that yet. So let's jump on that, because this was a good history lesson, and that brings it up, and it's good. So apparently, I'm the person that's for, and Aegon's a person that's against. So we'll play that game, and then let's go with and by the way, most of y'all talk about that race hustler shit. Y'all are getting from white folks, because that's usually what white folks would tag. I'm talking about people in the chat. That race hustler bullshit. Oh, because that's the shit Tucker Carlson and them used to tag him with. Oh, he's just a race hustler. So any black man that generates, so unless you a poor ass nigga, then that means you're a race hustler, because that's pretty much what that comes down to. But anyway, because even then, here's the thing, I'd be cool with that. But then when people like Robert Smith actually puts money in your community, now all of a sudden he's suspect because he's with a white woman. Doesn't matter that he was with a mixed woman before and his kids are 3/4 black. It's always going to be some suspect shit, except for the motherfuckers y'all like.
But he's not running around saying Melanoid Nation though. He's just making money. So it'll be no reason to bring up that.
I mean, but it's like a website, and quite frankly, Melanoid Nation don't even do numbers like that. That's just that all Tommy did was have a domain and pull it. So you like, are you really telling me the nerve of Tariq Nasheed to call it Melanoid Nation? So like, it's like motherfuckers like the fucking bitches on the Grapevine are fucking white men and they're Nigerian, but the Grapevine is a fucking American term, but they still pull that. So it's kind of like. And then Phantom Adept keep talking about talented 10th ish. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you motherfuckers are saying stupid shit.
So is it not suspect for, like, let's say, like, I saw this interview, there was 3 models. I think it was Iman, Tyra Banks and somebody else, and they were talking about racial discrimination in the modeling industry, and they were all married to white men, and it was like it's kind of like it's hard to kind of take you serious.
Well, I mean, they're not even saying that. Okay, first of all, they're not even saying that from a pro-black perspective. They're saying that from a this is what's affecting me and this is why perspective. Now, that's important what you said because it informs how much I should give a fuck about it. Because it's like, and that's another thing black people got to start doing too is stop jumping the motherfuckers' defense so quick. And so they be like, no, that's why I don't even really push colorism like that, because there's a difference between you and the society validating you, which is not our responsibility, and then what we're doing to each other, which black women, in my opinion, over blow. So when people want the word suspect is just a word, it's an effective word that's used to really try to say, I don't really want to make other arguments. I just want to throw the suspect around to try to just shit on somebody's name enough to where it just does damage. And people get mad because that shit doesn't really work on Tariq. Just like, quite frankly, that shit doesn't work on Tommy either. And a lot of people don't like Tommy because of that. Tariq and Tommy actually mirror each other positionally in many ways, as far as they both have raving fans. They can, even though can generate more money, they both can generate money. And you got people, you can't tell them shit about the other. And you know, it is what it is. But anyway, going back to the foundational Black American and 80 shit, because that's actually what I want to talk about now. Yeah, well, so Donnie, you lead off with that shit because yeah. Donnie, are you there?
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
No, you're fine.
I had myself on mute. Okay, so we got FBA versus ADOS, right? So I was actually having this conversation with Roger. What's going on, Roger?
What's happening?
So we had this conversation a couple of days before the blowout, and I said I could see this shit on the horizon. It's blowing. When Tariq put the FBA hashtag out and he started saying foundational Black American, I could see there was a rift and there was a divide already. More than likely because of Yvette Carnell, in my opinion, right? Because he had to blow out with Yvette Carnell. Yvette Carnell had said some slick shit about Frances Cress Wilson. I think she said something about Claude Anderson and a couple other slick shit. Not to mention she's
let's hold on. Let's be clear. When Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, a icon in this shit, you know, that didn't die she didn't die broke, but she didn't die with a lot of money. And she went at these motherfuckers to the day she died. The day after she died, Yvette Carnell started talking shit about her, and it wasn't just him. It was that corny black dude that I forget. He got fired from CNN, but he's one of them young dudes used to be on CNN a lot. The black dude. I had to pull up his picture. You know what I'm talking about. They boast, and they said because she had anti-alphabet views, which is pretty much, she called this shit as an attack on Black masculinity 30 years prior to it happening. And those are called anti-alphabet views. So, and she started talking shit about Dr. Claude Anderson as well as a way to attack Boyce Watkins. But go ahead.
Right. So if anybody knows anything about Tariq Nasheed, these are people that he rock with tough.
So does Jason Black.
Right. And these are Frances Cress Wilson is a cornerstone in the Black community as far as a leader and a speaker. She's always been there. She's been saying the same thing since day one. She ain't been
suspect free.
Nothing, no bullshit whatsoever. For Yvette Carnell to come out her mouth about that sister, it's insanity. So Tariq rep the ADOS because as it was a shit. ADOS is American descendants of slaves. That's what we are. This is a branding. This is us. This is a people. This is a group. This is what we are. This was a great move. Tariq repped it. The moment he switched to FBI, said, son ain't right here. He switched off because of her, and he saw the direction it was heading. So they threw the conference, or they're throwing the conference, right? And we had the riot and revolt conference. Tariq tried to get into the revolt conference. They wouldn't let him in, probably because he would have came in there and said some shit that they didn't want to hear. They wanted a whole lot of tap dance.
I didn't know that.
He was trying to get on the LA one, and he was campaigning. Say what?
I'm just laughing. He said tap dancing. That was funny as shit.
I mean, that's what they wanted
Well,
everybody to come up
yeah,
there
they
and do.
wanted they wanted a narrative.
I'm just laughing. I ain't hear that word in a minute.
Yeah.
You're going to hear some ignorant shit from me. So if you listening, you ain't shit for listening. And or you watch, you ain't shit for watching. It's the name of my show. But anyway, yeah. So if anybody knows about what the Revolt Summit was, basically they were screening people before they got in. They wanted your social media. When you got in, they wanted to RFID chip you. They wanted to make sure you were on their plan. You wasn't gonna come in there and say some real niggery shit and disrupt their tap dance coon sessions, because that's what they really wanted, right? Tariq campaigned to try and get in there. They didn't win. So he said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna throw the FBA conference. This is not the ADOS conference, which he didn't say, but it's gonna be a difference. Yvette and Tone felt some type of way.
Hold on. Rewind that for a second. So did Yvette and Tone get not be allowed to come in either?
To what? The riot?
The revolt.
Oh, the revolt? Yeah.
So all three of them either weren't invited or actively did not.
Yeah, I don't think that they weren't. Yeah, I just don't think they wasn't invited.
Okay, so let's just establish that the revolt thing was really counter. It was really designed to kind of take control of the narrative of what the social media narrative is. That's what that was for. So that's a good baseline. And then go back to where you said right before I interrupted you.
Well, I'll say this. The first thing I saw about the Revolt Summit for LA was twerk videos. So that gives you an aspect of what we was looking at before we had Revolt LA. But yeah, none of these people were in there. So Tariq threw his own. I think he put up it was a GoFundMe at first, right? GoFundMe, 200,000 is what he was looking for. Anybody knows anything about GoFundMe? If money doesn't go through for the full amount, all of that goes back into your pocket. So I remember looking, you get a $50. If you spend $50, you get a ticket. If you spend
it's on Indiegogo. It's like 50, 100. It's basically he spreads it out to do pre-sale, some of its vendors, and the GoFundMe got cut off.
Which was Shea Butter Twitter. And that was largely
so it's on Indiegogo now.
Right. And that was largely Shea Butter Twitter coming in being mad. I feel like it has something to do with Yvette Tone. They shut that down. So now he's on Indiegogo. So Tone came out. No, it was Michi, right? Michi X came out, had a whole video, and she was mad that he was spending $200,000. Now, I'm about to have a wedding. My wedding is going to be about 80 people, and we spending about $20,000. You can't tell me you can have a fucking conference with a whole bunch of people, and it costs $30,000, which is what she was pushing.
Okay, so first of all, now I want to be clear here is what Aegon was talking about. What we were having conversation before is different than what we were talking about. So I want to make sure I'm separating that. That's some hater ass shit. Up, down, repeat. First of all, like this idea of a conference, how much it should cost and what you can do, even if Michi would have been right, it doesn't matter because you don't know what the fuck is going on with the conference and what is being done. You're just talking about that shit conceptually. And I will argue, and to be fair, I've seen her buddied up with people that I do respect, like Dr. Butterfly Shauna and stuff like that. I've seen conferences. I know how much they cost and what they can rotate. The point is, her basically that's some hate. She's doing it because she's talking that shit because she can't do it. Because at the end of the day, it's one thing for her to give her opinion, but at the end of the day, if people want to pay for it, then they're gonna pay for it. She wasn't talking that shit because she couldn't go or because she couldn't pay. She's talking that shit for what? Like she's basically on some this shit should be free type shit. Or it's Tariq's responsibility to fund it. Keep in mind, this is his responsibility reaching his own money. Now, keep in mind, these are the same motherfuckers that will say, well, Black Lives Matter is funded by Jeff Bezos or somebody else has funded it and somebody else has an agenda. But all of a sudden, when he's saying the group needs to put some skin in the game, she was just upset about the money aspect. Is that correct?
Right. So,
okay, go ahead.
Her mindset is, Tariq is a millionaire. We go look on whatever the listing is when you can see people's net worth. He worth X amount of dollars in the millions, right? Well, he worth millions. He should put the money We shouldn't have to pay for nothing. No, the man he's a businessman. The man has put out multiple film franchises. He knows how to make things run and pop off. So if you want to show up, he ain't doing nothing but selling pre-sale tickets, period, point blank. If you want to come, it's pre-sale tickets. I'm getting my money right. Boom, 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 boom. If it don't go to 200,000, it's going to cancel. Everybody can get their money back. So he's not putting his own money up. It's understandable because this is a business move. Michi X is mad about that. So Michi came up. He had the little blowout with Michi where he embarrassed her, called her a Cabbage Patch doll. And then
another thing too, by the way, is you need to see how much support something is before you even put your money in to maximize it. Because a lot of times, like, look, man, when Tariq has done distributorships for his hidden color shit, because I've gone to one and stuff like that, that shit costs money. That shit is a money risk. And see, Michi don't see, man, that shit killed me. Like on that point, like, look, Aegon, I don't, you know, if he want to have an issue with those points, I can understand why they would have that issue, and they're well within right.
Money.
No, I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about the points you made. They're well within those rights to have that issue and say fuck Tariq on that. I wouldn't be mad about them on that. It's all the stuff you brought up before. But this shit right now, that's some straight hater shit. And that's why I was trying to say that a lot of people were coming in against that. It was some other shit going on. They were using Michi X as a leverage to do that. But the shit she was saying was some hater ass shit.
He's counting his pockets. I mean, whack as hell.
Yeah. A lot of times, and this is what, and I'm sure Roger can give you a super explanation on this because he's real good. And this is where I even get the thought process from. A lot of times, white supremacists will go get a hood rat, put her on a leash like she a pit bull, and have her barking at you because she gonna put you in check. And she doing a whole lot of
I won't go that far to say that's what Michi is doing. I won't go there because I've seen her with people that usually are good at vetting people. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. But what I will say is, yeah. So, but keep going, and then we're gonna, because I want to see get to, because that's Michi. That ain't Yvette and Tone yet.
Well, Yvette and Tone is on some goofy shit to begin with. So basically, they was mad that Tariq is throwing the conference and they want him to fall in line. That's their whole game plan. They want him to fall in line.
I mean, so the question is, do they want are they mad that they're not a part of the conference? Or are they mad when they say fall in line? I'm trying to understand, what does that mean? Like, why? So, like, you don't own a movement.
If you let Tariq tell it, it's an organization to them. Yes, it is a movement. Yes, it is a lineage, but moreover, a lineage, it is a organization. So it has basically become Black Lives Matter if you let Tariq tell it, right? So they have franchises, they have a group, and
I don't know if I agree with that, but go ahead.
Hubcaps, bumper stickers.
Yeah, I mean it's a brand to them, so they want everybody to fall in line. But let's be honest with you, if we're gonna look at everybody over the course of speaking and saying ADOS, the person I think of is Yvette and Tone originally started it, and then you hear Tariq come in, which was like the star player. He was the Kobe Bryant of the team, and he slam dunked it in. So more people are gonna associate ADOS with Tariq. More so than anything.
Yeah, basically the big three is Jason Black, Tariq Nasheed, and Professor Black Truth. If you want my honest assessment of them, you know, I think Professor Black Truth is definitely the strongest politically, even though Jason Black is right there. I think Jason Black is the strongest in combination of being able to raise money, distill the information, and I think Tariq Nasheed has the greatest ability to tap the street type of folks. You know, that's where they are. But and I say that because Jason Black and Professor Black too were on Tariq's platform. They were talking. A lot of people found Tone and Yvette through them, and I think they underestimated that. So that bullshit about a movement is bullshit because any movement has multiple groups. So that's dumb. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way I see it. Go ahead.
Did Jason Black and Black Truth show their face?
No, they don't, and that's why Tariq is a bigger name.
How do you get a movement not showing your face? That seems kind of weird.
I mean, you know, people got privacy reasons and people got reasons to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it comes down to if that's a deal breaker, then it is what it is with being a deal breaker. But, you know, Jason Black's been able to generate $250,000. And yes, people have seen him because like Nicole Michelle has seen him. There's people I know that have seen him because they had to see him when they were doing a distribution of those movies and videos. So this idea that he don't exist.
I'm sure people have seen Professor Black, but if we look at it in a realistic aspect, if everybody listening, how many people have seen out of the three of them, right? So we got Jason Black, Professor Black.
Well, everybody's seen Tariq Nasheed. I get what you're saying. I get you on with that.
We're gonna get more of a feeling of familiarity with Tariq because he's out there in the forefront. He's out there in the forefront. Let's be honest, Professor Black Truth, motherfuckers knew who he was. They gonna kill that nigga. The shit he says.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, and I understand that. I mean, they just restored Jason Black's channel, and by the way, Professor Black Truth's channel has been knocked out about 5 times, and it takes them usually about 60 days to get back to about 30,000 once people find it. Because people, and keep in mind, that's incredible in this space, talking like in this niche. So, and like I said, politically, he's the one that if you want to listen to the political shit and the real shit, he's probably the best one to get. Jason Black is good too. They're right neck and neck. But I would say I like Professor Black because this stuff is a little bit. It's no more than an hour, it's usually 45 minutes, like once a week. But and people used to always joke and say they thought they were the same dude, and that's just motherfuckers being stupid. But at the end of the day, they are all on the same page. And they are not really for what really Tone and Yvette is doing, because they feel like the issue that I see it is Tone and Yvette is trying to control who people vote for, and so they're trying to do what everybody people said they would do is they're trying to make that pivot and try to coalesce black people to vote Democrat. My point is, what separates you between the Congressional Black Caucus? Because the Democrats haven't said they would do shit, and that's what Tariq Nasheed is talking about. Because they were talking about Tariq Nasheed is talking about what Trump would do, and because at least Trump is had the conversations being had. Democrats are not even having the conversation. So you're sitting here basically telling black people to vote when he's talking about that. That's what makes them suspect, and that's why from what I understood, and everybody's coming in to talk about, oh, you dividing, you doing the white man's plan. Nobody's divided. We all have the same objective, but people disagree with you telling black people to vote Democrat when the Democrats haven't said they do shit. So why are we doing what the fuck we're doing if you just gonna come back and just say black people need to vote for Democrat and then hope and pray?
And that's
because so if you look at the
have the reputation of being known. Oh, my bad, Donnie. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Okay. So if you look at the history, right, of Tariq has a history. He's been telling people don't vote. Listen, if they're not giving out tangibles for black people, don't vote. So he had hashtag what 2020 tangibles 2020, right? If they're not voting. If they're not giving us stuff, don't vote. There's no vote. So
to be fair, and this is one criticism I have of Tariq too. He needs to explain this shit. When you actually ask him, he will then say, black people need to vote locally, but don't vote nationally. But that doesn't matter because what you just said is what most people think. Because he never really explains that. He just says don't vote. So yeah, go ahead.
He takes it, and you kind of listen to his deep cuts. And a lot of people ain't doing that. They listen to the end.
So yeah.
But with Tariq, when basically a lot of people blame him for black people not showing up to vote in the last election. Okay, cool. So if you look at
PBT said that too, by the way. So
yeah, but he's just a scapegoat on that level, though. He's just a scapegoat.
Well, yeah, but that motherfuckers was mad and shit. I remember Roland being like, shame on you, Tariq. Shame on you. So I remember that dynamic. So if you look at his history been don't vote. So if you look at him lately, he's put out a tweet, and that's what really jumped up ahead. Yvette and Tone jump on him was he low key has been thanking Trump, not on some
and they want to say we're not right wing.
Right, it's been on some bullshit. He did say black people, black people are the reason for the cause of this country being as strong as it is. He said that, okay, cool. I can understand that. I can see it from a reasonable point of view. This is what he's saying. He's not saying vote for Trump, but a lot of people don't have common sense, so they'll take it and run with it. I think the one that really got him in trouble was Trump said something that he would do something for black people specifically. And Tariq came out and said, well, shit, if the motherfucker's talking about doing some tangibles for black people, I'm gonna vote for him, which I don't see a problem with. If Trump come out here with his orange ass and say, listen, black people, I'm gonna give y'all reparations. I don't think a person on this panel is gonna say no to the vote. They're gonna march right in there and say, MAGA, make America great. 2024. Boom.
I mean,
Yeah,
that is a game of politics. So what would be wrong?
Yeah, I mean, if because the thing about it is, what do we really owe the Democratic Party? Because this is what people don't understand. What are you voting for when you vote for Democrat? You're voting for the alphabet community. You're voting for all that shit to keep happening. You're voting for the attack of black masculinity because that is coming mainly from the liberals. I'm not saying conservatives are cool with it, and I am a registered Democrat living in the South, so people can go to hell. You're voting for the black gynocracy because one of the main powers that powers this black female buffer class shit is through the black women, a lot of government benefits and jobs. These are the things you are voting for. You're voting for continued gentrification because those folks moving in, those are usually liberals doing that, not conservatives. Maybe libertarians, which aren't liberals, but the people, the gentrification, you're voting for pro-immigration, which is fucking black people up. Like I said, LA only has 8% black and it's 350,000 out of 4 million people. California is a perfect example of that shit, and you're seeing that everywhere. These are the things you are voting for when you vote for a Democrat. Let's cut the bullshit. If Hillary, a lot of the people be forgetting that shit. If Hillary, look, I voted for Hillary. Let's be clear. And I mainly voted for Hillary because of the Supreme Court picks, the very shit people want to talk about now. Because at the end of the day, all the shit I just said, those picks, they stay there for a long time. But if Hillary would have been in office, all of this shit would have been probably like 5x further along than it otherwise would have been, because they wouldn't be fucking with these other groups. They would be hyper. All this shit where immigrants seem to have rights and shit that you're seeing them in the cities and in the local municipalities, that shit would have been national. The dreamer shit, all that shit, everything would have been much more hyper accelerated. If you don't believe me, just look at the alphabet community in Obama. Remember when Bush was in office? It was the Defense of Merit Act. 8 years after, look at where the fuck we are now. We can't even say the F-bomb without fucking getting tagged. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's real fucking talk. And the Obama years should have taught a lot of people that shit. So y'all need to be very. Now, here's the thing. I don't think most black people want to vote for Trump. What most black people want to do is just stay their ass home. But what Tariq is basically saying is not enough to necessarily do that, even though you can do that, because I call that voting of confidence. You need to actually let the Democrats know you will actively dial their shit back. Because this is what the Democrats are afraid. They're afraid that motherfuckers are going to rotate shit back to to 2001 levels. So the alphabet shit is going to be rotated back to pre-2001 or pre-Obama levels. They're afraid that their shit, the abortion might get dialed back. That stuff gets put on the table. And that's why they're talking about black people. And they keep on, but at the same time, they keep on want to deal with this Hispanic vote. What Democrats don't understand about the Hispanics is the Hispanics see themselves as white, a lot of them. So they're going to be more, they're not going to get the harnessed black vote. Like, they're never going to get that like they got with black people. Because a lot of them are going to see voting Republican is voting white, like the Cubans did. So anyway, I just wanted to give that background. So I know what to call it. Roger, you've been waiting to talk.
Well, my thing is, when it comes to the parties, my thing is black folks shouldn't have any allegiance to any party that has no allegiance to them. That should just be an automatic thing. If you, it's like having a parent that doesn't love you. If your parent won't feed you and clothe you, why would you clean up the house before they get home? Like, it don't make sense. So I feel like black folks should just they need to learn how to follow the money. So at the end of the day, if Trump is going to give us something, yeah, you vote for Trump. I always promote that people start voting third parties, and I know people say, well, why vote third parties? Because they think the third party is not going to win. What the thing is, there's four other parties besides Republicans and Democrats. If you start taking your votes and start voting for these other parties outside of Democrats and Republicans, it forces Democrats and Republicans to start paying attention to what the people want. Because neither party really cares what the people want in the first place. Real talk. They really going off what the corporations want at the end of the day, because they already know you're going to vote either Democrat or Republican anyway. Now, I personally have no allegiance to a person that's not trying to help me, and or a person I really feel is trying to hurt me. So like even when you say Hillary could have been better, I'm
Well,
not.
I didn't say that. I said
No,
who
you
I
didn't say
voted
better.
for.
Yeah,
I said who I voted for. So I'm just saying that, and I told you why I made that decision. Because I also said this stuff would have been accelerated. When I say this shit, I said all of the negative things that I mentioned. I mean, at that, look, I made a decision that I made, but because these are the candidates that you have. As far as the third party shit, you're right. It's about being taken seriously, but most black people can't see past that because they think voting for the Democrats will do shit, even though they haven't done shit in how many election cycles. That's just a way for them to feel good and not be accountable to what they do. Like I said, particularly with black men, is no reason to do it. Another thing too is you gotta start economic. This is where Tony and Yvette fuck up. You gotta start economically supporting people. And what that means is like the Tea Party, you have to start bringing candidates to run. You don't have to vote for a party. You need to start bringing your own candidates. If you can only get them in as third party, as the Green Party, then you fucking run them in the Green Party. It's not enough to do it nationally. You need to start doing it locally where it actually require less money. But see, this actually signals, remember in the movie, in the first Avenger movies, they said that Earth or middle realm is ready for a higher form of warfare. Doing shit like that lets them know we're ready for a higher form of politics, which means they'll say, not these motherfuckers. This is why the Black Panther Party agree or disagree was so dangerous, because they actually almost was capable of potentially doing this, which would have pretty much knocked out the two-party system.
But
So
it
anyway,
moved us in the right direction. That's for
yeah,
sure. And I think if black folks won't understand this and start to taking it seriously, eventually you're gonna end up voting for who's gonna be your new slave master at the end of the day.
that's
And
what
I'm
they're
not.
doing now anyway.
Yeah, but it'll be much closer to the old slavery. I'll say that. So now when it comes to the beef between Tariq, Tone, and Yvette, I mean at the end of the day, Tariq has been more of a face of actually helping black people than Tone and Yvette has. No disrespect to either one of them. I've seen.
So give me some things that Tariq have done, because that's always the shit. What tangibles has Tariq Nasheed provided? Black people. What has Tariq done?
I mean, he wins alone just off the Hidden Color movies. He wins alone just off that because
Hidden Colors in 1804 was a huge dynamic because we hadn't had anything like that or to that magnitude before. Period. Point blank. I can you think of a Black history movie to the magnitude of a Hidden Colors or 1804?
and,
I
and at
can't name one.
And at the end of the day, he wins off that alone because he was a black man that put out a message that got it out to the people. He made it happen, and he didn't go begging and kissing white people behind to get the job done. So at the end of the day, he wins off that alone because he's doing the business side, because we're not gonna get anything done without business being a part of it. Everyone who's talking, we got to get everything for free. There's a bunch of people who ain't gonna never have nothing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We know we can't create change with no money behind it.
I think a lot of people's issues with Tariq is when he did the first Hidden Colors, he had a crowd fundraising moment, right? He raised the money via it was GoFundMe, I think. No, it was Kickstarter. It was Kickstarter. He raised that money via Kickstarter, got his first movie. Then he had a second one. He did it again. People felt like at that second one, because of the money he made from the first one, he shouldn't go out and go get backers from everybody else. That money should have just funneled into two, which should have funneled into three, which should have funneled into four, etc.
Oh, let me
And
say
that
this.
pissed a lot of black people off.
Let me say this because I'm seeing stuff in the chat like movies aren't tangibles. Now, see what people have to understand, because I get what they think. Movies aren't tangibles. What I'm talking about is The man went out. He did a job. He paid people. He got black people money because while they were making these movies, he was employing black folks. Period. The people who came and spoke in those movies. Now, I ain't called Tariq and asked him. I don't know the brother, but I'm pretty sure the
So,
folks that saw those movies.
and another thing I'm gonna throw in there too, and shout out to Soul and Black because he's one of the ones that read me into the Manosphere. Shout out to Thinking Man Templar. Here's the thing, man. So I would say tangible. First of all, understand we're talking about civilians. We're not talking about a government. So when we talk about tangibles, like we're asking a businessman, about providing tangibles. I will say, like you were saying, is one of the things I like about Tariq is he provides a model of how people can get shit done from a social entrepreneurism standpoint. Also, I mean, the only thing you can even credit Tone, I mean, I would say what has Tone done other than he was a part of the Freeway Cracking the System documentary, which was another great documentary. At the end of the day, they are operating in what's called the media part of the areas of activity. So the question, so at the end of it, but so I'm not saying, again, we're comparing it to a government, but yes, Tariq
Right.
employs people. Tariq does employ black people.
Can I ask him to that?
I'll say it further than him employing black people. He changed the entire mindset of a whole lot of people. Like there was a cultural shift when Tariq put Hidden Colors out. Now I had been on my black empowerment shit well before Hidden Colors, but once I saw Hidden Colors come out, it was motherfuckers popping up left and right. I hate to say it, woke motherfuckers was woke at that point in time. Man, you seen that Hidden Colors? Man, and they took an interest in the black diaspora in terms of black empowerment, right? Motherfuckers was listening to Umar, they was finding out about these lectures, they was figuring out black business needs. Motherfuckers was getting woke. So people want to say that's not tangibles, but when you have a whole generation of people waking up based on your movie alone, you can't get more tangible than that.
Can I say something about that? Like the thing about it is that it's not tangible. It's something called it's intangible, and those things are important too. Because I'm not a Tariq fan, but you can't say that enlightening black people to their history doesn't help them out. Because we're like a decultured people, and they need that. So as black people, we do need people to put out history documentaries, and I don't, whether it's effective or not. Some people say it's good work. I agree that it is good work. Some people say it's bad work. I don't agree with that. We need that type of stuff around, and you can't knock especially a black man who basically put that out there. And he did it the best on some real document. He basically, it's basically a compilation of great scholars coming together talking about what happened, and it was illustrated very well. So it being if what he did making those documentaries was nothing, then basically what
somebody playing video games harder than motherfuckers.
I know, right, man? They playing
It ain't
Oh my bad, I'm sitting there.
I'm like, it's his show. I ain't gonna cut him off.
I'm playing this damn Jedi Fallen Order, man.
No,
Hey, I'm not gonna tell you to run your show.
They're playing Snake. They're playing Snake, about to lose.
I heard a fatality from Mortal Kombat in there. Up, down, left, right, back, forward.
No, man, it's a fucking spider trying to kill this white dude. I wish they would have made me, because every time you can customize your character, you know I gotta make him black. So I was like, that's automatic. But anyway, yeah, I hear what y'all are saying, man. As far as the damn and that has value.
Let me finish what I'm saying. If you disrespect Tariq, then basically you're disrespecting black male media. Like, you can't do that.
Well, at the end of the day, man, like I said, people can have their opinion on Hidden Colors. I get that, because but what I'm saying is, a lot of times is you got to compare it to other people. And what I will say, look, Tariq employs people. He does a lot of the check marks. And I said that more people. Here's the funny thing about it. When people bring up Nipsey Hussle, very few people will raise their thing to talk about Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, man, he was in the gang, but he got away from that now. He was doing positive. But I'm like, at the end of the day, he's a black man, employ people to inspire other people to do so. That we need more of that. But that because we need more people doing it. And Tariq can speak to the same type of people that Nipsey Hussle did. To be fair, Tariq interviewed Nipsey Hussle on the thing, the show he has. He interviewed Isaiah Washington. He interviewed Michael Jai White.
Well, so all of these people, with the exception of Michael or Isaiah Washington, is
well, he don't like Michael. Something. Yeah, he said some shit. I mean, I don't know what happened with him and Isaiah Washington. But whatever. But anyway, I mean, I get it. But you know, it is what it is. My point is, what are you doing? And by the way, Soul and Black, I already know what you're doing. He's doing teaching motherfuckers how to do HVAC. So I get what he's saying. But these are the things that people need to be thinking about, because you got a lot of black people that ain't even buying black. By the way, too, a lot of people do make a lot of money when those Hidden Colors come out, because they do vendor shit. And so when people talk about, but let me say this and then I'm done. All that bullshit about how much money he's making, most of the time when Tariq Nasheed does a GoFundMe, he's pre-selling DVDs. So he's not basically saying, pay for my GoFundMe and then I'm going to sell you the DVD. No, he's pre-selling the DVDs. That's number one. Number two, Jason Black does it differently. Jason Black actually funds the movie himself and then has people do a GoFundMe so he can market them. But he still does that by pre-selling the DVDs. So that's not the same thing. It's saying, so when people say he should have looped the money through and made another Hidden Colors, yeah, but a lot of people that say that don't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to business, because at the end of the day, what are you saying? Are you saying that he shouldn't have provided the opportunity to pre-sell a DVD? Because that's all he's doing. He's not saying donate me money so then I can turn around and charge you another $40 for a DVD. Then people will have
That's
a lot
not
more
how
rope
it
to top.
works.
But if that was what he was doing, people would have a lot more rope to talk shit about him. And I would say, yeah, that is kind of some hustle
But then
shit.
what about this argument? What about is it for the people? Or is it for a business? Like how
It's called social it's called social entrepreneurism. What it means is you use business and capitalism as a way to fund a movement. Because at the end of the day, you can do it two ways. Either people can donate to you and you put together shit, or three ways. You can either fund everything yourself, which nobody's gonna fucking do without having an agenda behind it. This is why Black Lives Matter was dead on arrival, because Black Lives Matter was funded by George Soros, which means George Soros was gonna push his agenda behind Black Lives Matter. So they didn't fund themselves, and you see what was the result of that. Or you can aggregate the money like the Black church does, and we see how that gets fucked up. Or you can do a combination where you say, okay, I have enough money and business acumen to put a project together. However, it's kind of like, think about it, how companies let's take business. What do you think when these white boys make companies? Most of the time they don't go to the bank. They go to other people to say, do you want to invest? And then they get a certain amount of partnership based on whatever investment or credit assets they bring to a business, and a business is funded. It's the same thing with social entrepreneurism. You basically say, I have a project, and you can either fund it and then try to put the risk out there and recoup the money back to loop it into the next thing. Or you can use this tool like GoFundMe to aggregate everything, make people feel a part of it. Because again, he's pre-selling tickets and he's pre-selling actual products. And people do this all the time with shit that's a lot less tangible than a conference. They do this. I've seen people pre-sell I've seen people sell $2,000 buy-ins for a mastermind, then have the mastermind at their house, then turn around and sell the fucking video of the mastermind maybe a year later for like $100 a pop. And yes, that is business, and nobody says something, and that's a digital product. Hell, Boyce Watkins has even done that, where he charges tickets and then he'll try to sell like the live stream of the damn conference, you know.
Well, let me say this, Ed, because the reason there's so much pushback on this types of stuff, it's really not what the people doing. Black folks, especially ones that want to feel that they're pro-black, and I'm saying feel because it's not too much more than a feeling. If you feel like you're pro-black, first of all, you got to stop being anti money being made for black people, especially black men. People are always saying what black men are supposed to do. You're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z for the community. You hear this narrative all the time. I'm 42 years old. I've been hearing this since I've been on Earth. Everybody wants to say what a black man should do, but nobody wants to fund the black man to do it. So you cannot be pro-black unless you're willing to see black people make some money. And when it comes down to it, everybody wants to argue about the money, but they got no problem lacing white folks' pockets. So people just need to basically come off of it. If you cool to lace white people pockets, stop being so anti-lacing the black man pocket.
Yeah,
whatever Tariq is doing, he's doing something to help us in general. And if you got a problem with Tariq making money while helping black people, there is something wrong with you as a black person. It ain't him, it's you.
Yeah, and shout out to Sub-Zero, because Sub-Zero actually helps people get jobs as well as teach people in IT. And he does that, and man, he does a very good job, because he's only had a couple of issues, and that's what motherfuckers hating on some bullshit. And he charges a hell of a lot less than you would otherwise charge to get that done yourself. And another thing, too, is one of the basic things you can do being pro, if you do nothing else, is basically buying black. And when I say buying black, I don't mean all your money got to go to buying black, but I mean you need to at least pay attention to it. Pay attention to a place you go into. Do you see black people there being hired? Do you see this? Do you see that? Like little things like that. Most black people don't do that, but they got something to say, so they project that onto him. And again, I'm not saying you need to like Tariq or not like Tariq, but the thing is, it usually ultimately comes down to some simple bullshit. It really does.
That's their love of paying white folks. That's really all that is. They love paying white people so much, and it comes out through them trying to talk trash about black people and black people making money. And if you was really about us, why would you be charging? Because them niggas would rather pay white people. That's all it is. And they don't know how to.
Oh my God, that is true. That is so
ultimately
fucking
when you look
true.
When you look at black people as a whole, right? So people are mad at Tariq because he has this conference. He's asking for $200,000. When you go look at a Nicki Minaj concert or a Lil Wayne concert, these motherfuckers is requiring 150,000, 100,000, and then you have 2 or 3 other acts that you got to pay equal now to be 200,000. Nobody gets mad when Ticketmaster has pre-sale for tickets to come up and it's $50, $60.
And then them motherfuckers act like they can't show up for whatever bullshit reason, and then they don't. And yeah, people get a look, man. Don't get me started on a Beyonce concert.
Right. So this is the
I'm
dynamic.
Uber for that, by the way.
$200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for a turn-up session, but when it talks about black empowerment and black people getting together and talking about what we need as a community and motherfuckers coming together on some business shit, now it's a problem. But turn up is okay. Turn up $200,000 is way too cheap.
And I'm not even against people turning up, as long as they finna turn up to some black folks to create more black millionaires. But
and let's be absolutely clear here. I have no problem with criticizing the quality of a product that's being offered. Now, if you're not buying it, then I think there's certain limits to that if you're not buying it. But I'm not gonna say you can't say nothing. But there's certain limits to that. But like for instance, let's take Boyce Watkins for example. I mean, I got mad respect for what he's trying to do, but his shit is overpriced. There's people that I could point you to you can listen to Glenn and Cameron and get most of that shit for free. And Glenn and Cameron charges a lot for his products, but the shit he gives away for free is pretty much more valuable than shit Boyce Watkins actually is selling you. And he is and the Asian dude that annoyed the shit out of me because there are black internet marketers that I think could have spoke, but it really shows me why his stuff is marketed the way it is marketed and the way that it's packaged and the way the money is. But the point is, you can criticize the products, but at the end of the day, this idea of black men are doing this, and whenever you started off where he got enough money where he can do this, I'm like bullshit on that, because come on, man, like come on, man, well, like you get the black church. They never say that with the black church. By the way,
he shouldn't have to. Like you could say Michael Jordan, he got plenty of money. Well, Michael Jordan got enough money to do X, Y, and Z. How are you gonna consider yourself pro-black in any shape, form, or fashion, but you're unwilling to put $1 into black folks? It don't make sense. It's just a stupid argument. You know what I'm saying?
And to give you another example, like Solar and Black, I don't know if he still does it, but he does. He used to do helping people with HVAC and getting involved in that. And when you understand how much money you can make at HVAC, like the fact that this is what you're getting. You're getting an apprenticeship. I know most black people don't know what the fuck that means, and they don't understand it because it's Americans. We don't really do apprenticeship. That's a European thing as far as in West. But that is some shit. Like, to give you an example, if you go to a real estate seminar and you sit there and you can buy the information and you can have somebody that's done it walk you through it, and that shit costs like $60,000. He's never charging anywhere near as much as that, but people sometimes will have an issue with that. Why? Because they're not qualified for his assistant anyway, because they're on that bullshit. And I see this, and look, I'm not saying that everybody don't like to read. Like I said, we spent the first part of this program talking about some shit that didn't have nothing to do with this money shit. So the good thing is we were able to get all that out and establish that that's not the only reason why somebody can have an issue with Tariq Nasheed. But there's a lot of people that got an issue here, and they mad that they can't raise the kind of money that they want to raise, and they want to sit, and it's just everything else just gets tacked onto it as a way to cover that. Kind of like how when black women say niggas ain't shit because they can't get the nigga they want.
Yes,
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, but let me correct you. We do have apprenticeship. It's just see, the problem is black people don't know about shit, so black people don't get put on. But I went to school for HVAC. I have a electromechanical engineering degree, right? I went to RSI. RSI was supposedly is one of the leading schools in the country for that. I paid 30,000. I got the electrician and the HVAC under my belt, right? I learned after going to this school, I didn't really need to spend $30,000. I could have went and got put on a job, and they would did on the job training. They start you through unions for electrician and all this stuff, and you started as an apprentice, journeyman, and you go to a master's. Black people don't know this shit, so we don't fall into these categories a lot of times because white people are out here getting this money.
Yeah, because white people ain't gonna give us that, and they're not gonna give us that information. Go ahead.
Right. There's jobs, NDT, non-destructive technician. You can go, this is a 2-week class. You can go get your certification, and then you get the hours. You could be making my cousin makes $200,000 a year. This nigga went to a couple of classes the last 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, a week there, and went off to Alaska for, I think, 9 months. Fucking polar bear cold. Came back. He's making $200,000 a year ever since. So black people just don't know about this shit. Even in his profession, he tell me all the time. He get to a job site, motherfuckers go, how you learn about this here? How you know about this job?
Yeah, because they want to close them gaps. Yep. And real talk, a lot of y'all don't understand too, is a lot of these jobs, you tell me if I'm lying, because you would know more than I do. A lot of these white boys be catching these felonies. These are some of these jobs are the jobs they be falling the fuck into. Construction, that oil shit. So even this is why when they talk about black man has got a felony, a white man's got a felony, sometimes can make more than a black man is educated. This is how. And Solon Black said that he charges $10K for real estate training. And somebody would ask me, why the fuck would I pay someone like him $10,000? You're paying him to not make the fucking mistakes that you are gonna make that will cost you a lot more. Like motherfuckers running out of goddamn money in Atlanta. And then they got a house, they don't know what to do with it, and then somebody else swoop in and buy that shit for pennies on the dollar because your dumb ass fucked up and your credit is fucked now.
Not to mention that you got to pay for a person's time, because the fact that they're taking out time to show you how to do it, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a real estate guru, every moment that I'm taking out to show a student how to get the job done, I could just be making a deal myself. So I need to be compensated for something like that. That's how that works.
You pay to get put on, and that's just basically what it is. A lot of people, black people, don't understand because we get caught with felonies, right? We disproportionately get hit with charges in the black community. That's just a fact. It is what it is. So 9 times out of 10, if you are out doing some shit that you have no business doing, you are more likely to get caught than a white person, right? If you were driving down the street and you got a little bit of weed in your pocket, you ain't doing nothing wrong. They're going to pull you over. They're going to pop you. So now you got a felony. Your bar has been lowered. That glass ceiling has been lowered, and you are stuck with jobs that will accept you with a felony. What white people have done is circumvent that.
So Blast Fry, I know he's about to leave. He said transformative policies won't just come from historical DVDs. It's like a pattern of lectures, no change, but we do know more though. Here's the thing, man. Part of it, everybody has a role, man. Like my question is, it's funny how he says that won't bring change. Fine. I've already mapped out what this is what the areas of activity is. The areas of activity is politics, law, labor, sex, war, religion, media, economics, and there's one other that I'm communication is the media part, and education. These are the areas of activity. Dr. Claude Anderson's 5 floors is like 5 of that. So it's economics, that's the bread, that's at the bottom of the triangle. Politics, because that's division. Economics is the generation of resources. Politics is the division of resources. Judiciary is the law, which is, the rules. Education, media is the communication piece, and education is the top piece, which teaches you how to do all 5. My thing is Tariq operates mainly within the media part of it, which is a role. We don't have our own media. So I'm not saying it's the only thing. I'm just saying we don't have our own black media, and that shit has to be funded. So whether it's Professor Black Truth, whether it's Tariq Nasheed, Jason, but whoever the fuck, I don't give a fuck. Tommy Sotomayor, shit, because at the end of the day, he is black media, regardless how the fuck I feel about it. And a lot of motherfuckers know black YouTube through Tommy. I mean, that is what it is. And
What?
same thing with Soul and Black for what Soul and Black the work he put in. The point is that's the media part. So if you want other people that's done other parts, I mean, I can give you Don Peebles, Robert Smith, but it's always these motherfuckers got problems that make them suspect of some stupid shit like that. By the way, I haven't put money in this damn conference for Tariq Nasheed. I didn't go to none of the conferences for Boyce Watkins. I didn't go. I haven't the last thing I paid for with Tariq Nasheed was going to the actual Hidden Colors. I actually went to see it with some friends, and where I live when he was running it. That's it. I actually did not watch 1804 and buy 1804. So this is not a why you should give Tariq Nasheed money bullshit. That's not what this is. I don't give a fuck what you do. But the point is, when you look at economics, okay, Tariq Nasheed is clearly doing the economic part. And by the way, most of his money actually does not come from Hidden Colors. It doesn't come. It comes from real estate and a lot of the dating coach shit that he did. So
But
now we will go
it don't
ahead.
matter what example you give. At the end of the day, people just want to pick apart and complain because there's a black man doing something right, and too many black folks just got a black issue with a black man doing something right, especially the pro blacks. They
Yeah,
got an issue with it,
yeah.
and
Even with Umar, like people knew what they were giving Umar money for, and a lot of people were talking shit about Umar. Well, motherfuckers that didn't even donate money. I mean, at the end of the day, motherfuckers like taking other motherfuckers down. And my thing is, they will sit there and get behind folks they don't even fucking know because it validates what they already want to think.
black folks get behind people, white people tell them to get behind. That's why they're so into the Republican or Democratic Party. At the end of the day, you got a few people who saying what their reasons for doing X, Y, Z, just the same way you explain voting for Hillary Clinton. You ask the average black person why did they vote it, you know what I'm saying? It, no matter which party they voted for, they can't tell you an intelligent reason why they voted either way. So they just doing what white people tell them to do. And the fact that we're saying things that white folks aren't telling us to do, you're gonna get pushback because they don't know the white person behind us telling them to say something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When black men speak, they need to know what white person okayed that black man to talk. And that's why
And
you can
and another thing too is when people say the suspect thing, my thing is I'd rather deal with somebody that's kind of crooked and I know it's funding their own shit than somebody that I know has a backer. At the end of the day, even though I like Byron Allen, Tone talks shit about capitalism in every other way but Byron Allen. That shit is some shit I look at. I'm like, so capitalism is white supremacy because he makes it like capitalism is white supremacy, not that they use it as a tool of white supremacy. And yet you are caping for Byron Allen. That sounds like you bought off. And I'm cool with that to a certain extent. But the fact that you won't disclose that and you want to act like, because this is the thing that Tone always does. He goes, I got the most information. I'm bringing a logic. This is how he gets all his people. I'm bringing the information. I'm like, the information that you're bringing, I mean, like that's the same shit that people get mad at BGS for. But when you actually listen to what he's saying, he tries to make everything sound logical and everything. But at the end of the day, you can look behind what he's talking about and pick apart what the fuck he's saying. It's just that he just sounds smarter than what most people are that comprehend what you're saying. So he's good at making people comfortable with what he's saying. But my Tone is just a good debate. Tone is like Anthony Brown Logan. He's a good debater. But at the end of the day, he be on that bullshit too. It's
well,
just motherfuckers can't catch his bullshit.
he's a lawyer. He's supposed to be able to debate well.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. Yeah,
I think
absolutely. And so, well, the information, I'm just giving you the facts, and then it's whatever he will say, and it's the fact. No, a lot of shit he says isn't the fact. Like he'll say, black people ain't got no money. Black people ain't got this. I know black people got $1 trillion spending power, but black people have no wealth. Yes, we have no wealth. And then somebody came at me stupid about how the fuck you explain that, nigga. I said, okay, I walked and turned my faucet on, and I took the damn stopper out. And I left it. I went back and started playing my video games. He said, what you doing? What were you doing? I said, that's why the fuck we ain't got no wealth, because we got the fucking water running and ain't no fucking stopper. The stopper is actually wealth, dumbass. But we do got water running. And
That's a good
that's the lie
analogy.
that Tone says.
I mean, that's a very good analogy, but that's why I'm always push. At the end of the day, if black folks want stuff to actually change, you have to make a actual effort to support businesses owned by black men. Now, I'm not saying don't throw no women no money either, but what I'm saying is if you want a change to come, you got to have black men that own businesses, because
Yeah.
unless
Well,
the
shit,
men
let's
own
start with
business.
fucking black people. Then we'll get specific. 'Cause black women don't even support other black women.
Well, no, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you want change to come, because you can support black women's businesses all day, but you still won't necessarily get a change. If you want a change to come, you have to have black men own the businesses, because when black people become
Yeah, that's true.
successful for the comfort of white folks, they have a way of showing up to tell you to sign over your business.
Mm.
A
Another
man
thing
ain't gonna
too
do it.
is when you raise black men, you raise black people. When you raise black women, you don't necessarily raise black people. You raise
Right.
black women. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I know people be like, but he's saying he gonna be here, but he just really taping for Tariq because he really like Tariq. But Black Star said, if your politics aren't right, a business won't matter. Politics and business go hand in hand. You guys know this. That's not true. That's not true. A lot of Republicans are fucking. The only thing that makes them Republican is the fact they're anti-union, but really they're liberal. Like the Koch brothers, a lot of libertarians, especially rich ones, they're really liberals. They're just anti-union, and that's the only reason they give a fuck about the government. So,
Well, let me say,
so
money
that's
comes before
not true.
politics.
That's not as true as you think it is.
Now, money
Yeah.
has to
Yeah,
come
but
before politics, because money, you operate with money inside your home. Period. You know what I'm saying? Money allows you to be in the home that you have, whether it be a cardboard box or an apartment or a big mansion, whatever the case. Money allows you to do that in the first place. So if you don't get your money right, you can't even afford to go get your politics right.
Yeah, I
well, you know
mean,
what? Once you get to a certain wealth point, you got to play with the politics, because the politics are going to allow you to surpass that wealth point, right? So if you have a business that's making a lot of money and you see unions as being a problem, and you get with a political party that's going to shoot down unions, that's going to increase your wealth overall,
yeah,
because
because
you now
the
don't have
Democratic
business.
Congress actually has more wealth than the Republican Congress as far as the Democrats versus the Republicans. A lot of people don't know that. So I mean, I get what he's saying. I'm not saying it's wrong, but like, yeah, I mean, the point is your economics funds your politics. So that's, I mean, think about it. I hate to say this, I shouldn't, but fuck it. We already said the Jew shit, so whatever. I know I'm gonna get a strike for this shit. This probably be my last stream if I leave this shit up. But anyway, for a while. But anyway, no, don't post it because these are only 3 people to be up and I'm done. But when you look at like Al Qaeda or any kind of group like ISIS, what did they? No matter what they did to do it, they still had to raise the money to fund what they were fucking trying to do. From a political standpoint, you got to raise money some way. Now, luckily, we live in a country where we can still make money. We just got to aggregate our fucking money. That's what we don't fucking do. We don't aggregate our money. What we do is we spend it on nigger tricks. We don't even buy it from each other. And see what, and think about it. Think about it when it looks at Tariq Nasheed. If Tariq Nasheed was selling shirts and selling shit and selling whatever, it doesn't matter. People will have a problem. And they use the pro-black shit as a mechanism to say, really, you can't be pro-black and pro-business at the same time, which is some of the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard. And granted, that's not nobody said this in this space, but that's what really a lot of people are operating under. And this is why when you got motherfuckers like Nipsey Hussle, which he got a pass because he fit that street vernacular that people
Let me
like,
say one
but
thing
he
real
even
quick.
still got shot.
Can I interject one small thing? You cannot be pro black and not be pro business. That's an
I
oxymoron
agree
in
with that.
itself. You cannot be pro
That's why
black
black
and
people don't buy it, but they don't buy black.
then they ain't pro black.
Because this just because you're pro, because these are the same dudes. A lot of these dudes, be, oh, well, you can't. Well, everybody can't start a business. Everybody can have a hustle. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, if a dude ain't got a hustle, I have a hustle or something he's doing on the side, unless he's making a lot of money in his business. If he's making under
But ever,
$70,000 and he ain't got a side hustle some way, you shouldn't even consider that dude an alpha male. Real talk, like seriously, because it shows he can't navigate in the environment as is. Maybe 60,000. I'll say
well,
that.
let me say this before people even go into a person having a hustle or business. Everybody can spend money. And if you don't make an effort to spend your money with some black people, you're not pro-black. Period. Just that simple. You
Yeah,
know,
I call it economic cooning.
well, I mean that's a pretty good term for it. But if you can't go out your way here or there, or you're unwilling to spend a little extra money just to see another black person get paid and help your own people, then something's wrong with you. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know people argue about price stuff. You know, if I see if I see a quality product for
Only
$3,
black people think like that.
yeah, of course. But that's why it needs to be said. If I see a quality product at a white that's being sold by white folks for $3, and I see the same quality product being sold by black folks, but say it's 450, I'd rather pay the 450 than the $3. You know, that's what being pro-black is. People just who are unwilling to do stuff like that, meaning you're unwilling to put your people first. You're not pro-black. Period. I don't care what you think, but you're not pro-black because it's not in your act.
And other groups do think this way, and they may not tell you. See, we got to stop waiting for people to spell shit out for us. That's another thing we got to stop waiting for. We're waiting for somebody that we want their validation to tell us what we need to do. Nobody's gonna tell you this is how you win the fucking game. They just gonna look at you, be thankful that you're goofy as hell, and then just take advantage of your goofiness. This is what motherfuckers don't understand. Like, I ain't trying to bring and yeah, this is why I call myself an economic pro-black. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you ain't talking about the money, you ain't talking about shit. And this is a big problem we have with most black people is they want to focus on everybody but the money. Yes, I do support Tariq. I don't agree with him on everything, but the main reason I support Tariq is because of the economic piece. You know, because he is a good example. I can look at Tariq Nasheed and say, look, if I'm talking to a dude that's a street dude, they don't want to be associated with no square shit. He like it's him. It's what's the dude named Marshawn Lynch? People that are street but still are still, they're economically conscious. I say this is a dude, this is an example of somebody you can see. You see, he ain't no square, he ain't no this, yet he's doing this. He's like the bridge. And look, there's other people that's like that. You got Q Butter out there, you got other people. I'm just saying this is the part. And and see, for y'all to be killing me, I don't even be promoting Tariq Nasheed on my channel like that. So I don't even know why a lot of motherfuckers is like, you ain't throwing this dude under the bus, they get mad. And I'm not saying you can't call shit out and say it's on some fuck shit, but I'm just saying, goddamn, motherfuckers be devoting a lot of energy to be going at Tariq, man, for real.
Well, you know what? But that's how black folks do. Because I was thinking about this. It's a group of people. I ain't gonna give out no information. Group of brothers I was talking to. The R. Kelly incident happened, right? The whatever that documentary was, whatever the case is. Now all of a sudden, certain guys, because they got daughters, they're like, I ain't listening to R. Kelly no more. Okay, cool. I'm like, well, he ain't got convicted, and they asked me because I had on some R. Kelly. They're like, why you still listening to dude? I'm like, man, at the end of the day, that's his personal life. I really don't care about his personal life. I mean, if I wouldn't send my daughter to go make no songs with him, but I would think other people should be that smart too. But that's his personal life. If I start measuring everything out by people's personal lives, I can't watch television. I can't watch a movie. I can't read books. It's people in all forms of entertainment doing corrupt stuff at the end of the day. So I say, how can I protest against the black man doing something corrupt in entertainment, but not protest against the white folks doing stuff in entertainment? Now, when the Byron Allen and the whole Comcast situation came up, I talked to the same guys about this, and I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? Me and my friends, we just basically called Comcast up and said we don't want their service no more. And you know what I'm saying? One of my best friends, he said it the best way because he was the first person to do it. He called up Comcast, told them cancel our service because they effing with Byron Allen. Okay, and I was like, a great reason right there. And he wouldn't give no other reason but they effing with Byron Allen. So I tell the guys the same thing, and then they all of a sudden they like, well, that ain't gonna work, and that ain't gonna mean nothing. You can't avoid those type of companies. They too big and all this other type of stuff. So my thing is like, okay, so somebody say something bad against R. Kelly, he black. You quick to protest against him. But now when the white folks is making billions of dollars doing something toward black people, now you won't even give up your little entertainment stuff to hurt the white folks' pocket. I mean, that's how that's how a lot of black folks are thinking, even though they think they pro-black and all that type of stuff. If as long as the white man ain't said it's bad, they cool with it. When the white man say it's bad, they not cool with it. Even the pro-blacks. And that's what their problem is. That's why they're not making the progress they want to make as a people, because even the pro-blacks are taking their cues from what white people say.
Yep, they're subconsciously doing that. And yeah, I mean, my thing, look, at the end of the day, you can support who the fuck you want to support. This is me being held accountable for who I support. And when I say held accountable, I mean at the end of the day, you are this when I say you need to be held accountable who you support, this is what I mean. Don't support somebody and then if you and come into a pattern where you support somebody and then you talking shit about, oh, this person played me. Okay, the first time, shame on them. The second time, you just can't get fooled again, as George W. Bush would say. At some point, it's you. It's the type of people you're in the market for what they're selling. You know, it's just like with Derrick Jackson. If motherfucker, look, I don't like Derrick Jackson, but if motherfuckers, but I'm not gonna hate on his money because at the end of the day, motherfuckers are buying what he's selling. And here's the thing: at the end of the day, if females were to sit here and say, "Well, fuck, Derrick Jackson lied to me and I wasted all my years," nobody told you to listen to his dumb ass. You could have got a second opinion, but because you like what he was saying, because he fit a narrative, you were cool with that. And that's your problem. And at the end of the day with Tariq, I'm not telling you give him his money. The problem that a lot of people have is they got an issue with people giving him money. That's really what the issue is. And they know motherfuckers, people, you can't say, oh, well, he got a white woman. He got this. You can't drop no shoe on Tariq because Tariq has put a lot of his shit out there. Like when dude was saying, you know, but he called what's it called crispy, and he's and that's the worst thing you could say. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's fucked up. But and he did make a video game, and he got mad when I said I bought the game. But I wanted to see if the game was gonna be a piece of shit or if it was gonna be a good game. And I was like, God damn, this shit is actually well put together.
Why is everybody mad at him calling dude crispy?
I mean, mainly it's Tommy fans that are mad, to be honest with you. It is some people outside of that are mad. Oh, don't tell what to call it that. He'd be like,
I think the problem with Tariq is the reason people have a problem with Tariq is simply because he's not white people approved. And black folks got a problem with any black person that's not white people approved.
So let me ask you this, because I never really.
I mean, and let me be very clear. I'm not saying that there's no criticisms to be had of Tariq Nasheed. That is not what I'm saying. I know that's not what you. I know that's not what you were saying. But I want to make that clear because I actually named some shit that Tariq gets on my nerves with. But anyway.
So yeah, I never understood why they say you can't be pro-black and call another man crispy. Like you can't call another man broke, dusty, weird.
We speak because apparently you can't be pro-black and you're calling another dude. You're making a dark skin slur. That's kind of what he was saying.
But that's not what crispy means. Just like so from where I'm from, the word crispy, the word burnt, all that means like burnt. You crazy, weird. You a nutbag, right? Crispy means you ashy weirdo nigga.
See, that's what they said. Tariq, he would have flipped if he would have been on here because he said that's what Tariq said, and that was bullshit. He said, and I ain't gonna lie. To be fair, I used to charge that with Cardi a lot too. When Cardi would call a chick a burnt bitch, and they would try to pull that. Well, in the Bronx, we call her burnt. I say when I think of burnt nigga, I think of toast. So it's not caping for that Latin bitch.
Yeah, no, it's not nothing to do with your skin complexion at all. It's like you burnt, like you got a piece of toast or whatever it is.
Because you know she would say roach, right. She would say roach as well. You know, roach, and I'm like,
roach might be some different shit, but you know, roach I can only see a roach. But if you burnt, motherfuckers be like, oh yeah, that nigga's burnt, because he's crazy. Like he's not, he ain't cooked right. He just cooked a little bit too long. You know what I mean? That's not. That's not nothing pejorative for your skin tone.
When it comes down to it, ain't nobody perfect and gonna walk in perfect essence in everything that they do at the end of the day. Because if somebody was making every right move, they put them on the cross. You know.
And I'm not. Yeah, and people can. And here's my thing: people can give them money or don't. But at the same time, this thing where people are like getting angry. This is the same shit I would say with O'Shea. It's the same shit I would say with O'Shea. Mo, what fuck? O'Shea just got a blog and da da da. I know O'Shea rubs people the wrong way and stuff like. Oh yeah, so Black said, but people call each other nigga. Yeah, that's gonna be what I use. Hold on, how can you be pro black and call somebody a nigga though?
Like I say, and once again, ain't nobody gonna walk in perfect essence on everything that they do. So I mean, sometimes people just nitpicking, and people need to recognize when people like
Yeah, I
that.
remember somebody said, Gab, how can you be pro black and you light skinned? You look translucent. Gab didn't like that.
So I just want to make a prediction because we out here. I don't know if y'all follow these people on Twitter.
Yeah, because we about to wind it down. No, I got a Twitter account. I jump on Tariq shit be live, man. If you want to get in there and you want to jump into action, man, Tariq shit, not even with just his shit be Jason Black's can be, but Tariq got some of the livest Twitters.
It's gonna come out that Dr. Boyce was trying to get at Yvette. I know she a lesbian, but I feel like he was trying to get at Yvette because he just announced on Twitter maybe a day or so ago that he gave her tens of thousands of dollars while she was living at her parents' house at the age of 40. So in my mind, you ain't giving nobody no money.
You know, he said he's at the age of 40. No.
But I'm just saying, you ain't giving nobody no money like that. You don't expect to hit that nigga out here playing the simp.
No. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Boys is that much of a simp, but I could believe that. Boy, the thing, I don't know. Here's my thing. Boys has this blind spot for women, and I can see if they were attractive. And some of them, well, I ain't gonna say some more. Some of them more than others. Some of them are more so than others. Like I can see getting that shit. If it was Zaza Ali, then yes, I would say yeah, he was trying to hit. But with Yvette, I don't. I will say this. I think Yvette was doing work for his. I will say this. I do think Yvette was doing work for his site, and Yvette did have kind of a following before Boyce. And I do think I ain't gonna lie, I do think Yvette has some shit that she could gripe about with Boyce. I think she's got it more so than other people do as far as females, because I think Yvette put in a lot of work for Boyce, but at the same time, I think that I think Yvette, it's hard. She'll be like, man, I ain't saying he didn't do you wrong, and that may not be nothing there, but what I will say is, I mean, come on, man. You really mad because you ain't putting shit together on your own. It's like Yvette is somebody that's really looking for somebody to sponsor her. That's rich. She's not somebody that's gonna really do what Tariq does and put this shit together from a social entrepreneurship standpoint. She's looking for a sponsor, like somebody that can be a backer, kind of like a Byron Allen, or somebody like that. And I don't know, man, but whatever.
Do you think any of this has something to do with the fact that people just into their egos and people just looking to be the HNIC over movements?
I mean, that's always what it is. And at the end of the day, man, I can forgive that if you're mainly funding it. And what I'm saying is Tariq Nasheed has his money and he's rotating. Like, here's the thing. When I say he's funding it, Tariq has a relationship with his network of donors and the people that choose to buy into his shit. That is his relationship. I mean, I look just like how Tommy has his relationship with the people that fuck with him. Same thing with Minister Jap. You know, and even though Tariq can lever, and by the way, motherfuckers are not giving Tariq as much money as they used to. They're not. Tariq, I've seen Tariq's GoFundMe's, and he's not commanding the same kind. Jason Black, for the most part, is commanding a lot of the same money, but Tariq has kind of tapped a lot of people a little bit too much, and they're not as getting him as much as they used to. I saw that with the 1804 shit.
Well, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here because I got to take care of some stuff myself. But all I'm gonna say is, any quote unquote pro black person that got a problem with black people getting money, I'm looking at you with a side eye anyway, because you ain't pro black in my book. I don't care what you talk about. I don't care how much knowledge of self you have. I don't care if you can you speak 3 African languages or something. You know, like I don't care what it is. If you got a problem with black men getting money, especially, but any black people making money, you on the other side of the fence anyway. You may not know it yet, but I know it.
I know it. He said, you may not know you a bitch ass nigga, but I know it. Anyway, all right, man. I mean, people want to ask about the case. I don't know, man. We're going to talk about that when it happens. But I don't know, man. I mean, I think we fucked it either way if we don't get our shit together. When it comes, because here's the thing: on the one hand, you got all these streaming apps that are not subject to the same shit, so they can say fuck it, we just go in route around that shit anyway, because that's where the money's going. If Byron Allen wins, because think about it, Byron Allen is fighting for like digital or real estate, television real estate in a market where really TV cable is starting to decline. Now, I will say it is something to be fought for, but Byron Allen has the ability where he can produce he has the ability and the expertise to produce his own shows. Byron Allen can get some shit done and then build a subscriber package, for it doesn't even have to be for black people. We can for what the fuck he wants to do, because his movies don't even have black people in it. People like if I were to tell y'all movies that Byron Allen did, y'all, huh?
That's what I wanted to ask. Is he putting out black shows and black movies? Because I don't know no Byron.
His shows are, because Court TV, he's got Yodit Tawilde in it, even though Yodit Tawilde does not like Tariq Nasheed.
I'm not qualifying Court TV shows because that's not.
His movies ain't. His movies ain't got no black. Shit, his movies, like for instance, one of his movies was 27 meters deep, which was that movie with the white chick. He got that movie with the damn with Christian Bale in it, where he was acting like he was from West Virginia, had Zoe Saldana in it. Like, his movies don't be having no white people in it. So unless they be doing shit behind the production, trust me, his movies ain't got no black people in it. So, but his TV shows do.
I don't really see what the big fight for him is. He's trying to get another dollar, and it seems like he want black people to rally behind him, but he ain't doing shit for us. But as from my understanding, and I'm not no lawyer, so this is only speculation on my part, and this is really just going off the hearsay of Judge Joe Brown. He done popped up, and he said that law that Comcast is really trying to fight and break down is basically become redundant at this point, because it's a lot of that what's in that law has been included into other laws since it's come out. So there's really no major
thank you. And motherfuckers be acting like that shit is gonna make it so like it's gonna legalize racism, and Soul and Black is right. See, people, when I was talking about that app shit, everybody was like, huh, what? All right, they were hearing me, but they really wasn't hearing it. Now what do you have? You got Apple TV this out, which got some real fucking shows. I mean, I got a couple of sisters talk about, yeah, man, Jason Momoa with that site, that blind. Then you got Disney. You still got CBS. They on the third season of fucking that damn Star Trek show. You got HBO Max now, like with Watchmen. This about to come out with the bigger version of HBO. You can get ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus for $12.99. Yeah,
I got it.
All this shit is decoupled now. All this shit is decoupled now. Then you got Sling. Now you're starting to increasingly see more apps to come out to give you, because you got YouTube TV. So the point is, you can in-route around that. And there is ways to make shit, you got that DC Universe shit with the fucking Titan shit. That shit is coming out now. Yeah. And
let me say this, because after hearing y'all speak, the law ain't really got nothing to do with television. It's just about civil rights in general. And if you give people an inch, they'll take a mile. So if they basically argue to the point that you got to start proving anything dealing with discrimination that's going to affect in any type of law to deal with civil rights, because you can never say that somebody did something to you because you're black, even though they're doing it to you because you're black. So that's really, yes, it can affect people in the television industry or streaming service, but that affects us all.
I get that, and I understand that dynamic. However, I've never seen Byron Allen come up with any other situation black related unless it affected his money.
That's a legit critique. At least you can't tag for instance, that's the only billionaire other than Oprah you can really tag with that, because you can't tag Robert Smith with that, you can't tag Don Peoples with that. But yeah, now that I think about it, but at the same time, I think people give it a pass because they're like, how this can benefit black people overall as far as being able to get the media right. And the fact that he took it this far and now people are more engaged, but I still say, like, even with Dame Dash, what he's doing with trying to do his app together, I mean, productions, I mean, it's not hard. I keep telling black people need to get in fucking horror, like, for real. There's a lot of shit. I mean, damn, Get Out proved that. I was done with $5 million. There's some stories niggas have to tell, I mean, I just saw Dr. Sleep last week and that little black girl killed it. But yeah, oh yeah, she was fucking the wife. He's like, you little black bitch, because she was fucking with them people, man. But
I get it. I'm a fan of C. Them two little black kids on C. They winning right now.
Yeah, so people talk about, but then you got shit like, don't get me started on Harriet. Then Harriet, that shit was some nigga ain't shit porn. They actually had the main villain to be a black man trying to catch your ass.
Bigger, longer.
Worst
Catcher Freeman.
Bigger, longer.
The worst movie of 2019, officially. Real talk.
Now, if a black person if a black person, let's say the black dude that did Boondocks would have came up with an episode like that, black people would have lost their fucking mind. Oh my God! In fact, actually, that's not that. No, that episode was different because she did end up shooting a white dude. So, but it still tried to make, but hey, Harriet was a horror movie. And what's funny about it is if they tried to go the Django Unchained route, I wouldn't have liked it if they would have made it so she was shooting black people that wanted to come back, black men that want to come back. But that's at least a little bit more historically accurate. They could have probably got away with that, but they went and tried to make it like that bullshit where they always try to make it like the white man ain't the problem. In these movies, I mean, Harry, people don't know this. Harriet Tubman used to have seizures because a white man took a fucking brick or a rock and bashed her head in because he got tired of her bullshit. She probably one of them ones that would legit talk back. But anyway,
in the movie that she got hit because she was trying to protect some black man, even though she was only 13 years old. The whole dynamic of that movie.
But Black Pride say we only. Yeah, but Black Pride says we only have so much money. Talking to Bubba, dude, man. I mean, you talk about black people always find money for what the fuck they want. When it come to that P, it ain't, man, please. Black men always find money. Black people always find money for what the fuck they want. You got women. Most women got like $600, $700 hair and nail budgets, and these bitches be 87, 85 octane. So I don't.
My ex used to get her hair done on a monthly basis. It was $500 for just the hair.
Yeah,
I had a girlfriend one time, and I think I helped her get some hair like it was like 2 or 3 times. So she went to get like the weave or whatever it is. And I would start seeing the prices of this stuff, and I was like, this what black women do on a regular basis? I'm like, you don't got money for this. You don't make no money to be buying this type of stuff. That was my natural reaction to it. You don't have that type of money. It's crazy.
It's a story Kev just sent me. I think it was yesterday. It was a sister, I want to say in North or South Carolina. She killed another sister over 2-3 bundles of hair. And I think they said it was like $200 or $300 worth of hair. It wasn't worth it.
That's better than chicken sandwich.
Well, yeah, but niggas is killing over this shit.
Shit, because them bundles are commodity. That's why motherfuckers. Yeah, when motherfuckers be laughing at motherfuckers that selling bundles over the over Instagram, I'm like, shit, they probably make some money. Real talk. They tried to create a weave network marketing company, like multi-level marketing company in Atlanta. That shit wasn't gonna work. But I understand why they tried it, because shit. This and my thing, it's it's funny, man. But it is what it is. But anyway, I know motherfuckers be mad. They think, man, this just turned into a Tariq. I came in here because I thought it was gonna be 50% Tariq ain't shit, but man, y'all were caping for Tariq and that. Look, I don't give a fuck what you do. I mean, honestly, I don't even listen. I used to listen to Tariq like every week. I don't even listen to Tariq like that no more. I may catch him on some of his Instagram shit on live because he be bringing people on there and roasting their ass. Like he roasted a dude that was from Jamaican, and he got that dude good because he but I don't even be listening to Tariq like that. Like I really don't. So I don't know why y'all get mad. Y'all and people that listen to my channel, y'all know I don't even mention Tariq like that. So I don't know why y'all niggas. But like I said, it be a lot of that Tommy shit. But dude made a valiant effort. And like I said, some of his points were legit. But yeah, he kept saying, how can you be pro-black and have Melanoid Nation, but you won't tell Jews, you won't talk about Jews. And I'm like, what is there to talk about? Like, what is it specific that Jews are doing? Because if I say is what is specific that Hispanics are doing, I can say that. What is specific that black immigrants are doing? I can say that. Yes, Jews are in Hollywood and they're making us look bad. But that's any other person in it. Shit, there's Tyler Perry is in Hollywood making us look bad.
Well, at the
I,
end of
I
the
don't
day,
understand that whole argument. I'm lumping Jews in with white people. Period, point blank. Ain't no black Jews doing this shit. It's
Yeah,
white
because
Jews.
I'm
So
gonna
it's
tell
a
you,
discussion.
because here's the thing, them Jews can fucking shut a lot of shit down, and I think a lot of people resent that. But I'm like, where are you really getting that from? Because the only people that really resent that shit is other white people, because Jewish people are capable of actually fucking with lower class white people, but they don't overdo that. They only do that when they fuck with them, and I think. I always tell, and I've had people, I'm not gonna lie, I've had people make some really compelling arguments. Like you, I'm not gonna try to act like I'm dismissing everybody saying that, but I've had you be surprised. Like I can go, there's motherfuckers that it's like me argue. If I would tell them that Christianity is not, you need to be an atheist, and how that would be like a never ending argument. That is how people are with this shit. Or oh no, let me not even say that. You know how certain people like really be on the Illuminati shit, and they will fucking
Oh,
go to the
yeah.
ends of the earth. And I'm not saying there's not something to certain things. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that's the same thing with the Jewish thing. And there are people that, yeah, I understand their arguments. They be putting in some good arguments that I'll be like, damn man, you act like this is the beginning and the end.
well, you know what though,
Tucker wasn't his best moment, Soul Black. Yeah, Tucker did. I ain't gonna lie, Tucker did kind of get him a little bit. Tucker Carlson.
now I think people really bring up the Jewish argument because they don't really want us to deal with fixing us. Because it's like, okay, you bringing up the Jews. Okay, what are they not supposed to talk bad about us? They're them. They're not us. So they're not supposed to do that. Like, how are you going to tell anybody what to do with their companies and their corporations if they control your image? How are you going to tell them how to present your image when you don't want to spend the money to put your own people in charge of our own image? So
Yeah, they're only occupying what the fuck we should already be doing, because they wouldn't do that shit if that shit didn't make money. Like and
but my
again
point is,
and
why do
yeah.
you want to argue about Jews? It's really just you're trying to stop me from talking about black people and how black people need to improve their own situation because you want me to talk about somebody else that's not a part of us, that ain't got to listen to us and don't care what we talking about. So
And
it's stupid.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you, because everybody keep kind of thinking, why should I not? Why am I kind of defending that? I'm gonna tell you right now, black people are not in the position as a group to really. You're competing with a hyper competitive group. Like you're not in position to really go group to group with them. Yeah, we got numbers, but I'm talking about like where it counts as far as class level, which would significantly lower our numbers, because only like 20% of black men make 50,000. You're not ready. Like we're not. We having a problem with Hispanics right now. Like real talk. That shouldn't even be an issue, but it is an issue. So we have things that it's like this game I'm fucking playing where you need a lot more powers and shit like that together before you go up. If you try to play a game and you fight the boss at the end and then you done like that, we don't have the thing to be competitive. I'm not talking about individually, people don't have it, because obviously you do. I'm talking about as a group. And y'all want to sit there and again, I'm like, where is this itch that y'all want to scratch? Where are y'all really getting that from? Because a lot of people will make it sound like you deal with them, you solve white supremacy. That's how they really try to say it. And I'd be like, wow, okay. So you
Well,
telling me that these motherfuckers are running white folks? Yeah, they are. Wow.
well, it's just a sidestep issue because they don't want nobody pressing them to do anything. Black folks ain't doing free stuff that they can be doing right. And you don't even send your sons to school the way you're supposed to, and you talking about what about the Jews? What about them? Send your kid to school. Let them get an A in this class. You know what I'm saying? Let them graduate first. All this stuff I'm hearing about these black
And to
boys.
be fair, it ain't everybody. It ain't even a lot of people like that. Usually, the dudes you talking about like that are talking about the fucking Illuminati, and they don't even get to that point. It's a lot of people. You be like
No,
if I were to tell you who they were, you'd be like, damn, for real.
no, what I'm saying is we're not even doing the free stuff right. Like we're not even directing our children in the proper way. But somebody wants to say talk, go at the Jews. The Jews, they ain't finna listen to you no way. They ain't got to listen to you. They don't. There is no reason for them to care what you got to say. But you want to tell somebody to go talk to some Jews. How about you make sure your kid gets to school on time? How about that? Rather than talk to some Jews that ain't got to listen to you.
He said, yeah, I mean, like I said, and I want to be on record. Like some of these people have made some really compelling arguments. That'll be something that I have to be a direct to Patreon, or because that shit, they'll cut that shit off live stream. In fact, I'm surprised they cut this shit off live stream.
Well, I'm just saying, before you start saying let's go do anything to attack another group, you know what I'm saying? Everything is warfare at the end of the day. You don't send soldiers to go fight and they ain't even been to basic training. That's all I'm saying. We ain't did basic shit.
No, absolutely. So yeah, man. Hey, y'all. FYI, BGS is on, MOT is on. So definitely support them. I do appreciate y'all coming out with this with what I'm talking about. MOT talking about builders and producers. Don't need to reconcile featuring the Gone. So yeah, that's gonna be some hot fire. The Gone got a good catchphrase. Talk about cut it back to the meat that don't bleed. Support him as well as BGS. That shit gonna rock. Hopefully you get a crazy bitch that gets on there again, talk about some you fuck with white women, you gay and shit like that. By the way, did you see BGS's video talk about the pink the octane digger?
No, I haven't seen that.
You need to check that shit out. That shit's so funny. It's talking about women that are like hood rats that are trying to act like Robin Gibbons type gold diggers. But they're not qualified for the dudes they think they should get.
So most hood rats then?
Yeah. So it's good. It's actually a really good video. It's actually really good. So anyway, with that being said, I'll let y'all get y'all final words out and then we'll end it up.
Oh, well, my final words to everybody, check out my show, The Roger Report. It's a great show. Appreciate you for having me on, Ed, because I got to get out of here myself. And you take it easy, Donnie, and I'll see y'all on the next go round.
All right.
Well, yeah, check me out. I'm a habitual line stepper. Donnie, my show is You Ain't Shit for Watching. We also do the Black Dimension, me, Roger, and another dude named Kev. Kev runs Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Check us out. Shit, we getting it popping. Thanks, Ed, for having us on for the convo.
You're definitely welcome.
You need to drop me your Xbox, your PlayStation. What you play?
I actually don't play video games like I used to. I really don't. I'm getting too old for that shit. But, that Star Wars, I had to try it out, see if it was on some fuck shit. They actually told me that if I can beat it in my cheap ass, if I could beat it, I could give it back if I could beat it by Sunday, but that shit ain't gonna happen. But I could get it back, get my money. Yeah, get my money back. But I was like, that shit ain't gonna happen.
That's the thing people don't know about GameStop. If you beat the game and you take it back, they got to take it back within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it's that love it bullshit.
Yeah, I do it. Shit, like I did it with Spider-Man.
No, that's what they told me. So I was like, whatever. And then you got that's what I'm doing. Obviously, not Star Wars, Mortal Kombat. I got to play with the black person. So Jackie and Jax.
We can get that.
Hold on, Jackie, Jax, Garrus. No, unfortunately, I don't. I'm like the only black nigga with an Xbox. It seems like.
No, I got an Xbox too, so I got both.
I'm probably gonna get both Switch next time because more motherfuckers got PlayStation. But no, that's all I was doing. I was sitting there trying to deal with that shit. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah, check out The Watchmen too, man. That shit is dope.
Man, I'm already on it. Listen, I'm on it. That one in C. Them is my two new shows right now.
Yeah, and I love it how that the old dude is fucking with the chick. I don't want to see you no more because I don't know you, fucker. He's like, you don't even know who you fucking with, man. I love it. So anyway, that and the white chick, the old white chick, because she be playing everybody. But anyway, with that being said, appreciate y'all, Soul and Black, all of y'all, the Knights Templar, and peace out. Peace.